Boom. Anthony and Air podcast back for another episode. We're chock full of a lot of great stuff tonight, including the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell is actually suing Jeffrey Epstein. Plus, we know what the Epstein estate is actually worth at this point and what he is selling, or the estate is selling next, to even up with all the legal fees that they are facing. The sheriff's office down in Orange County has released photos from Bob Saget's hotel room. We will show you those. We will get into it. Pretty interesting stuff there. Mo Brooks and Donald Trump have broken up. Big fallout here. And Mo Brooks has admitted that Donald Trump asked him to put him, Donald Trump, back into office after removing Joe Biden. Audio for you to share. Pretty interesting. Plus, maybe the most important topic we have on the show this evening: a Brazilian singer held in her farts so long she had to be hospitalized.
Come on.
Hillary Clinton's mistake on Twitter. Home Depot teaches us about white privilege. TikTok warns us about March 30th. And just like that is coming back for a second season. This Ukraine band might make you cry. Their message to Ed Sheeran and the UK is truly touching. And of course, fan feedback and so much more. Frankie C is here. J Sab's on the way. Let's do this. I'm good, Frankie C. How are you doing? Well, did we lose Frankie C? We lost Frankie C. We were doing so good. I heard him say how we doing, and then he disappeared. All right, we'll see if we can get him back. Oh, there he is. Hold on a second.
You lost me for a second. I don't know what happened.
Big man, what happened? You quit? Couldn't take the heat?
I can't hear you. That's probably on me.
I think it's on you.
I got nothing. Let me see. Hold on.
All right, well, we'll let Frank figure it out as he gets it together. Let's kick off the whole thing. Ghislaine Maxwell is suing Jeffrey Epstein. I did not know this. This is a little old, but we just kind of got a little bit of an update on what is going on here. She's essentially suing him for, let's see, the big man's back.
I'm back.
There he is.
Here we
What's
go.
Up, big dog? You okay?
No idea.
A little stumble out of the gate.
Little glitch in the matrix here.
Technology.
Sure. So what I miss?
So Ghislaine Maxwell is suing Jeffrey Epstein. Did you know that?
What in the hell is going on?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
It's actually an old thing. She's been suing him for the last 2 years because essentially at one point he promised her that he is going to cover her legal expenses.
I mean, she's claiming he verbally said to her?
Yes. All right. So here's everything. She filed a lawsuit in March of 2020, a couple of months before she herself was arrested. She was seeking money from Epstein's estates for attorney's fees and security costs. On March 9th, attorneys for Maxwell and the estate joined a court conference in the U.S. Virgin Islands to discuss the next steps for a civil case, which estate lawyers argue should be dismissed because, among other things, Maxwell cannot be indemnified for international wrongdoing, including criminal conduct, as a matter of public policy. Superior Court Judge Harold Wilcox ordered both sides to submit briefings on the issue by August 1st of that year, after Maxwell's lawyer, Kyle Waldner, requested they wait until August 1st of 2021. I
don't think you're going to get Epstein's side of that. You're not going to get his briefing or whatever they're waiting for.
Yeah, but Waldner wanted to delay it until they were certain of the outcome of her case in New York. So that's kind of last we left off with that. Jeffrey Epstein's estate lawyer, Christopher Croblin, said, quote, "We understand that there are some unique issues going on right now, and we have no objection to that." Manhattan federal prosecutors and Maxwell's defense team filed pleadings last week over her bid for a retrial. We know that. We've been following that. 2 years ago, Maxwell sued Epstein's estate to indemnify her and advance her money for attorney's fees, security costs, finding safe housing, and other expenses that she claims to have incurred because of her past employment with Epstein. Remember, we said that her husband put up money and did all this stuff. So that was all plan B. Plan A was, let me sue the Epstein estate and see if I can't get them to pay for all of my stuff.
Well, the husband put up money for bail, but the bail wasn't granted, so that didn't go anywhere, right?
Right. It was never granted. And then she explicitly asked for housing. So she thought that throughout all of this, she was going to get
bail, but
get bailed. Yeah.
That didn't happen. So that money should still be there.
Well, the proceeding never took place because the case is still pending. The lawsuit between the two. But can you believe that Ghislaine Maxwell is suing Jeffrey Epstein's estate for legal fees?
Is this? I mean, I guess I don't understand how could she prove it though?
All right, let me fill you in on that part. I knew that was going to be your question. Good question, Frank.
Hey,
during the course of their relationship, including while Maxwell was in Epstein's employ, Epstein promised Maxwell that he would support her financially. The filing stated, adding that at around 2004, Epstein had sent her a typewritten letter pledging to do so. That document, though, was not present at the time that she filed the lawsuit. So
he just typed out a letter. Anybody could have typed out a letter.
Well, she's claiming that he had a typewritten letter, and I don't know if they were looking for it and haven't turned up. It hasn't turned up just yet, or whatever the case may be. But Ghislaine Maxwell claims that there's a typewritten letter out there somewhere, that he promised to take care of her financially, any attorney's fees, any sort of legal battle that she would have. He made that promise to her. Maxwell's suit also claimed that Epstein's longtime personal attorney, Darren Indyke,
Sure.
Okay. That Darren Indyke, as the executor of the multimillionaire sex offender estate, also made assurances that her legal fees would be reimbursed by Epstein and the estate. The filing said Indyke told Maxwell that her legal fees would be paid because she would not have incurred any legal expense but for Epstein's alleged misconduct, and that Epstein's promises would be honored. So she's saying that the lawyer is even saying that because Epstein did all these bad things and not her, and she worked for Epstein, that her legal fees would all be covered.
Well, I feel like as of right now, she's guilty of these things.
Correct.
So they can't stand on that leg. And even if there's going to be a I feel like they couldn't push this forward until a retrial is over and done with, and she's either found innocent or guilty. Because if she's found innocent, then maybe she could say, well, Epstein did all these things, and that's why I was put through this. If she's found guilty, then she still doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Right, because they can't indemnify her, which means that she can't profit off of wrongdoing.
Right.
And if she's been proven to be guilty, she definitely cannot. Yeah.
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 No
she
good
definitely can't profit. All right. Question for everybody. How much do you think Epstein's estate is currently worth at the moment?
His estate, his whole everything. Now, let's hear guesses.
We'll open it up for guesses. Yeah. So
I'm going to say.
I'll say, do you want to know how much it started out as and what it's worth right now?
Give me what it started out as and when that was, if you can.
Okay. At his height.
That's his height. Okay.
Which is all we know. He had an estimated worth of $650 million.
Okay.
I shouldn't say at his height. I'm sorry. At the time of his death.
Time of his death, 600 and what?
$650 million at the time of his death.
Okay. So now his estate, you got to figure after all is said and done with paying, the victims and et cetera, I would guess 100 mil.
100 mil.
We have some guesses in the, we got a new member, Laura Llewellyn. Thanks for joining, becoming a member. Appreciate that. Let's see. We've got a couple of guesses of 20 mil, 450 mil. Paige says 85 mil. Herself says 300 mil. Amy Adams, maybe the Amy Adams, I don't know. 432 mil. A lot of good guesses. Aussie Annie 01 says 100, same as me, same as 100 mil. Robin says 387. A lot of good guesses.
All right, a lot of good
Anybody
guesses coming in.
close? Anybody close?
Yeah, not really.
Okay, nobody's close. I'll say 10 mil.
No,
$1.
no.
Can I do the Price is Right thing and say $1?
$1, Bob.
Robin said $1 as well.
All right, I'll give you the answer after we talk about our new membership, Frank, that you just said. Laura joined. Thank you, Laura, for joining. Here's how you can join the podcast now, which is very exciting. Get exclusive content and so much more. Secret shows, Q&A shows, behind the scenes looks. We just started this on Friday, so we've been rolling out a couple little things. There's still so much more to come. So for those who have joined, thank you so much. Hang tight. We're going to be throwing a lot more stuff at you. And like some stuff that we were Frank and I were talking today, and we got some good ideas on what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be promoting that too. So we're going to share that with you. What was that from?
What?
What is that from? The way you did that? That's from a movie.
Is it?
Yes.
Always thinking wheels are in motion. Things.
Maybe it was Wolf of Wall Street. I think it was Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, this is.
Yeah. Right before, I think he did that. Anyway.
All right, maybe.
Join now. There's a button underneath this video. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, go over to YouTube. It's a much better experience. Click that button that says join. If you can't find it or you're on mobile, it's not on mobile, Frank. Or it's on mobile for some people, but not for others.
I have it here. Here.
There's a link in the description.
It says join right there.
Yeah, there's a link in the description. And if you can find that, which is okay, just go to anthonyonair.com. There's a banner right there on the homepage for you guys to click right there on the homepage.
3 levels of membership. Should we go through them or
no? Right there. Get exclusive content.
There's our beautiful faces right on the sides there. It's a wonderful thing.
Can I just tell you how much I am enjoying the members only area?
No.
We've put up some little nuggets. Last episode, Janine admitted to a felony hit and run. And then we were able to, the investigative team at AOA Productions was able to obtain.
They're good, man. They're good.
Yeah. We're on.
Wherever they are.
That's why we're gonna get the Saget thing. We're gonna get down to the bottom of it.
We'll get there.
We were able to obtain the first text messages between Jay Sabs and her husband, and we released that information to the members only.
Only the members saw the text message.
Yeah. Today, the members only saw the which we have to put on the rundown. I didn't talk about it, but we will talk about it. Today, the members only actually saw the actual friends chat. We had a conversation about where's the worst place to drop a deuce.
I missed that. All right. All fairness, I wasn't involved in that.
You weren't
in that chat. I wish I would have known. I would have jumped in that.
But that's why everybody was having fun, because you weren't there to ruin it with your serious things.
I'm sorry.
And I was able to share that amongst, because Janine had a very funny admittance in there. She admitted to something in that little chat exchange, so we put that in the members only area too. And then we let the members vote on whether or not they wanted to see that on the show tonight, and they voted for yes. So we're gonna add that to the rundown. Worst place to drop a deucer.
Nice. So that's not in the rundown right now, but it will be tonight.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, members. All right, we'll talk about that.
How would you spell deucer? Yeah. See, look, boom, Frank. It's on the rundown.
There it is. I think it's DEU.
Is it DEU?
I think so. We went to the same high school, right?
I think so. Well, I didn't graduate, so
all right.
I deucer. It's not even a word. How could you misspell something that's not a word?
Well, deuce is a word.
I guess so, if you want to get technical about it.
Therein.
Jeffrey Epstein, $650 million worth at the time of his death. Let's see. Did anybody get it right? Donna, no. Poppy, no.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Amy Adams, one of our members, said we also saw trans Frank. What?
Oh yeah. Oh, so the welcoming I can't reveal what that is now. The thank you for becoming a member message.
Okay.
I can't really share what that is.
You know,
I'd
I
share it
don't.
with you, but you're not a member.
I
So
gotta sign up for this thing. I'm missing out here.
you really are. It's a nice little thing.
It's nice.
Nobody got it right. Nobody's even close.
Really, it's not worth more than it started out with.
No.
No.
Which somebody did guess that.
All right.
$190 million.
190. Okay.
So that is $460 million that went like that. That's a
Good.
big victims fund, my friend.
Good.
That's a big victims fund.
Where now? Who has? I guess the family has access to this.
Yeah, well, the estate's in control right now. I believe that's his brother mostly calling all the shots. As you heard there are some lawyers in it and involved. They're the ones who are dealing with this Ghislaine Maxwell lawsuit. I can't get over the fact that she's suing him to cover her legal fees. I mean, talk about just snooty
Could
behavior.
this be set up for the trial, the new trial? Like, look, see how much of an enemy of Epstein I am, kind of thing.
I'm suing. Yeah, well, but she has been suing him since 2020. So
yeah, well, that's
I don't know why they didn't make that more of a prominent thing. I mean, you'd think they would at least mention it.
Do we know how much she's suing him for? I guess ongoing.
Yeah, because they have to determine all that throughout the process of the proceedings, and it's for legal fees. So
right.
this would go, but she has to win. She has to get out of this.
Win, yeah. If she doesn't get out of it, well, if she doesn't get out of it, she still can't. She can't sue because she's part of the. She's guilty of it.
No, because what would happen? She would be indemnified, meaning that she would be profiting off of wrongdoing.
Right. Well, not profiting. She'd be. Well, I guess profiting.
Yeah, she would be profiting off of wrongdoing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't. That's a no. You can't.
No, you can't do that. That's
yeah, you can't.
It's not going to fly. Oh, look at this. What is this now?
Thank you. Oh, it's hot. Okay, thank you. My first Jumpstart coffee company there, Frank.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice?
Thanks, Snuggles.
Very nice.
Huddles. Look at that piping. Can you see the smoke coming out of that bad boy? I don't know if we have the cameras for it. Not really? No?
No, you got to put like your shirt in front of it or something.
A dark
shirt.
Yeah, smoke.
I got nothing.
I've been on Jumpstart Coffee Company.
We'll believe you.
People are like, "Oh, what's happened to Jumpstart Coffee?" Still pals.
Yeah.
Still pals. Yeah.
We're always pals.
Hang tight. They ain't going anywhere. Still pals.
Yeah, there they are. Still got my Jumpstart here. But
delicious.
All right, so she's suing, and we're still waiting.
Now, if this burns my tongue, who do I sue, Frank? My wife or Jumpstart? How does
I think you have to sue the veterans. So
the veterans.
So you become an asshole is what happens when that happens.
I'll pull a Ghislaine. I'll sue the veterans.
Yeah, and then
like my shit's holier than thou.
You're public enemy number one once you do that. You're out.
So Epstein the Epstein estate is unloading another asset. They sold the West Palm Beach house. They sold the New York house. I can't believe anybody bought those two places.
I'd love to know. And they were sold a little while ago, so I would love to know the current status of these structures. If they're building in them, if they're knocking stuff down, if they're completely renovated. Who knows? Or if someone just moved in and said, fuck it. I can't imagine that would be the case.
Yeah, and you know what's weird? We just went through this massive real estate explosion where everything sold for way more, but I guess not so much in the city, so that wouldn't have made too much of a difference. But yeah, it's just interesting how all of those assets went for nothing. But what's weird is the West Palm Beach house was knocked down, from what I understand. It was bought by a developer, knocked down.
Yeah, they pulled an OJ on that one.
Yeah, I don't know I don't think that they can do that with the New York building, because I think it might
be part of a high rise kind of a.
No, I think it just might be a historical because it's old. But I think they can tear out the insides, which I would imagine that they're probably going to
I would
do.
hope so.
But to me, West Palm is the best because you could knock it down altogether to get rid of the bad juju. New York, not as good because you can't really. It's still everybody's going to walk by that, and they're always going to point to that building. It's the Epstein building.
I think no matter what, either place is crap because
Is bad
because of obviously of what happened there. That's number one. But then you got, let's say, West Palm Beach. All you're buying is the land because you're gonna knock the house you knock down. You're just paying for the land, and you're gonna start from scratch. And of course, the New York place you can't do much, so that's crap.
But
so
I think
it's not
this
even worth
one,
it. Find another place to buy.
This one that they're selling might even be the worst. Hang on, interesting question here: is Snuggles Cuddles' sister wife, or is it more like a multi-personality situation? Good question.
Who's Snuggles?
I do sometimes call Cuddles Snuggles on occasion.
Oh, all right. Because Snuggles is the laundry detergent bear. Just want you to know that.
That too.
You're infringing on some copyrights.
When I make my wife walk around in a red-headed wig, I call her Snuggles.
You don't call her Little Orphan Annie or something?
No, that's Snuggles. When she's just walking around in her normal hair, Cuddles.
Okay.
Don't at me. We all have our little things, right?
I guess.
Epstein is unloading his private island down in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So Great St. James Island and Little St. James Island both going up for sale. This is for an island. You want to take a guess at what they're trying to get for this?
It's got to be, oh man, I'd say 300 million.
It's not a bad guess. I would for two islands now. Two islands for the price of one.
Okay. Yeah. 400 mil, let's say.
Now you're going up to 400 mil?
For two islands together?
Yeah.
400 mil.
400 mil. Okay. Infrastructure's already there. Think about it. Already has its electricity.
Yeah, but it's not worth, it's you're basically buying the land. If you're any kind of haggler, and you're going to be like, listen, this house isn't worth anything anymore because it's going to be knocked down no matter what. I'm buying the island.
Right. I mean, it's the most infamous island ever.
Infamous is the key thing here.
Yeah, like this is where the most debaucherous, most disgusting behavior.
Right. Who's buying that? There are plenty of other islands out there, I feel.
I mean, legitimately, you would have to think, Auschwitz and any of the concentration camps, 1.
Yeah.
And this place would have to be 2. I mean, could you imagine being like, "Oh, I'm getting a great price on Auschwitz. I'm going to buy it." Like, it's just a weird thing.
You don't want to. That's no good.
It's hard to touch that.
Yeah. All right. So there are a few guesses in the chat here. Onion, 300 mil. Right along my lines. Herself, 450. Bird, 210. Robin, 90. So, how close are we?
Amy, who would want that land, though? Excellent point.
Exactly. That's why the price comes down a bit.
Well, that's it. You're all overshooting it. $125 million for the two islands. Yeah. Ironically, they lived on the smaller of the 2 islands. The big island is mostly forest and preserve. The little island is where all the houses in the mansion and the guest houses and everything was.
Is that the famous island? Is that the infamous island? That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
So it is sold or it's selling for?
Selling for. They put it up for sale.
I can't believe it. Still, with so much ongoing stuff, they could just get rid of the prop. Isn't that like still crime scene and evidence and all that stuff? I'm sure they got whatever they had to get out of it, but still, I guess not. I guess they're done with it.
Yeah.
It'd have to be.
Robin did win 90 million, closest without going over.
That'll do. Good job.
Got a toaster oven coming your way, Robin. So big nice.
Don't hold us to that.
Yeah, don't hold us to that.
Maybe someone somewhere will send you a toaster oven.
I'm sure you'll get a new toaster oven at some point. Seems like a young fella. Yeah, 125 million for both the 2 islands. Just imagine taking that listing. It's a bespoke listing, Bespoke Real Estate. They only handle, I think, like 35 million and up.
Yeah, you're not gonna get what you're asking for. Number one.
By the way, do you want to know where the Bespoke headquarters is?
Sure.
It's 20 minutes from my house. I literally I know somebody who works there.
So, can they get you a deal on some places? Not these places.
No, but I would love to go in there and be like, how's that conscious doing for you? I mean, is that bothering you at all? Because I feel like, you know what's crazy? I just tweeted this. Disney is taking more shit for the Don't Say Gay bill than fucking DeSantis and Florida itself. Disney is going through more shit.
Yeah,
and like they're taking it all out on. By the way,
and Disney, they backtracked like sons of bitches too. Disney came out and was like, "Yeah, you're right. Don't say that's bullshit."
Yeah, but it's amazing to me. Disney may be one of the most LGBTQ friendly companies to exist on the planet. The fucking guy at the head of the wheel fell asleep and maybe reacted 4 days. Like at first he was like, "Oh, I don't want to get involved." And then that was it. For like 3 days, he said that. And that, like, they are taking more shit than the people that are responsible for making this.
I think it's lightened up, right? I mean, now, because they kind of backtracked.
No, their employees are still walking out. And in fact, That's So Raven. I don't know what her real name is, but that was
Raven
the show.
Simone.
Okay, thank you. That's So Raven walked out with them today. She's like, "Here I am, fuck Disney," and I'm walking out with them. And she fucking walked out with them. I'm like, I get it. You're upset at the guy. He reacted slowly, but enough is enough already. Like, go to where the real problem is.
Yeah,
stop beating up on Disney.
Florida. I mean, get your shit together. Come on.
But it's crazy how misguided our anger is sometimes.
I know.
And I get it. Disney was slow to nobody's denying it. And people
don't absolutely. No, they dragged their ass on that one. They totally dropped the ball. They're trying to recover. I get that. But
I just think this is, honestly, Frank, I think this is, people are pissed that this guy is charging more for parking and charging extra to skip the lines. And they're like, fuck this asshole.
That's skipping the line stuff. I don't know how that works. I mean, come on.
Bullshit.
What's the point of the lines now? I guess, what, you have more money, so you get to go ahead of me? That's just not right.
Oh, and people are saying that it doesn't even work. That like the Star Wars attraction, like you can pay $15 extra to skip a line, but everybody wants to go on the new Star Wars thing, and that's
so everybody's paying the $15 to skip the line, and that's forming a line.
But it's never available.
Oh, well,
it's like never available. So you pay, and then they're like, "Okay, here's what you can skip," and it's like, well, fuck, the one I was paying for ain't even on here.
Well, it's still gonna rake it in.
They're not showing you what's available before you fork over the money.
Ah, you see. Yeah. I'm still gonna go and see that Star Wars thing.
Totally.
Yeah, that's right up my alley. I want to build me a lightsaber.
Yeah, maybe I'll walk over to Bespoke and I'll ask them how they plan on marketing the worst square footage on the planet outside of Jewish concentration camps.
Yeah, it's not a great sell, not an easy sell.
Maybe that's going to be their marketing plan. Hey, at least we're not Auschwitz. Come by.
That's one positive they got going.
Not Auschwitz, and look at the view. Don't ignore.
See, if I would sell it to the government and say, just test missiles here. Just do whatever you want to do. Just fire away.
Mm-hmm.
Sell it to the Army or to the Coast Guard or the Navy. Just shoot these freaking islands, blow them out of the water.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not either. I would love to know what's our own Robin, one of our great moderators.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing some chatter about a membership merger. Okay, Robin was one of the supporters because there was a prior supporting feature before we introduced memberships, which he was a part of graciously. We're very grateful for that. And now I see that he's rolled over to the other member. So I guess maybe putting them both together, he had to convince his wife to make that happen. Now we got to get something for the wife.
You see, I think that entitles at least a T-shirt.
Yeah, his exact quote here was, "My wife almost put the kibosh on the AOA membership merger. I think we're all good now."
How many nights are you on the couch? Is my question.
Yeah. All right. Well, we already had some merch coming for Miss Justice and Robin, which I believe somebody should have reached out to them already. And if that's not happened, then somebody will be fired.
Fire them all.
But I'll tell you what, Robin, to make life easier, we'll get the wife a shirt too, or a hat or whatever she wants.
That's awfully nice.
Cups everywhere.
You got to clean your area. I
I-
guarantee you, if knowing you, as long as I have, if the camera panned around that room, just ever so slightly,
Filth.
right in the square that we're seeing is nice and organized. But if you
Yeah.
go like this or like this,
Yeah.
it's just a mess all around this area.
Yeah.
Absolute mess.
Get Robin's wife. Yeah, Frank, you're right.
Yeah, I know.
Because I let my children come in the studio because I can't stay on them all the time. Do you want to see?
You have to lock the door, dude.
Let me give you a little taste. I bought these Post-it notes so I could keep notes for the show. This is what's all over. I mean, they just draw. Just drawings after drawings. And like an asshole, I can't throw them out.
Because they're your kids' drawings.
Because they're my kids' drawings. But
but they're not that good, if I'm being honest.
Look. There's drawings everywhere. There's drawings.
What are you gonna do with those?
I don't know. I pile them up on this side. I just put them over here, and that's where I pile them up, and that's it. There's a doll over here.
Oh boy.
Then my doll. I could. So the old windscreens. I had a whole package of them, which was fine. It was locked away. My daughter just got into that.
Oh, go by. Why don't you have a lock on the studio door?
Yeah, this is what I could just grab in.
Yeah,
all over the floor.
I'm telling you,
all over the floor. Yeah, it's a mess. It drives me crazy.
How is there not a lock on the door?
There is, but I don't know. I just don't. I gotta get a key. Like you can only. This is in my house, so it only locks from the inside. I gotta go out and get a key with it.
You get a padlock. You get one of those. What's it called? Yeah, padlock. You put like one of those latches on the outside, and you just like a shed. Just lock it. You put it up here so they can't reach it. Put the key on the top, and you're good.
You're like a virus. You can't. Do I have a sandwich in here? I might.
I guarantee there's some kind of food in there that you are not aware of. It might not be a sandwich, but there's something there. Boom. What is that? Yeah. Well,
toy spatula.
That's close enough.
Probably has some kind of food on it. I don't know.
Paige is correct. I obviously never had kids. Yeah, but
they just get everywhere. Let me tell you something. Don't judge me on this.
I'm judging you.
They're worse than COVID. Okay. At least with COVID, you have a chance to survive. There was a chance you could survive. With kids, that doesn't exist. You're going down. They're going to get you.
I hear you.
They're gonna be looking over your dead body at some point. That's how this ends, Frank. Okay.
That's grim, but accurate.
But very accurate. Quite accurate indeed. Anyway, listen, we're not gonna move product this way. We got to focus, eye on the prize. We got 2 islands that we want to unload with a low price of $125 million for those who don't mind sleeping in people's crushed dreams. If that's your thing.
What do I have to do to get you on the worst island in the world? Yeah.
Was it Pompeii? What was the island that was completely destroyed by the volcano? There's probably like 10 of them.
I mean,
that's better than this.
Pompeii, I don't think was an island, but
whatever.
Yeah,
I can't.
Still,
now I'm just aggravated because there's just you made me realize how much crap there is all over my desk.
You made me realize to make you. Okay.
What?
Bob Saget.
All right. Bob Saget's hotel room. A couple of photographs here. Let me pop this up for you on the screen. I don't know how, because last we left off, the judge decided that they were not going to release any of the information regarding.
They weren't going to release the autopsy.
Right. Correct. They weren't gonna release the autopsy or anything, any bit of that information that we knew of. Okay, fine. So you kinda just assume, well, that's the end of it. We'll never know. We'll never get down to the bottom of this. And then here comes the sheriff's department, and they go, "Oh, well, we got some photographs that we took of his hotel room that, we're gonna release to everybody." So they released these to us, and, sorry for those of you who are listening, but I'm gonna pop it up on the screen here. Where do I wanna do this? Do it this way. Pop it up on the screen so everybody can take a look. There was a lot more, but I'm just gonna show you these 2, which was the bed and the tub, because they claim that his head injuries, either he slipped in the tub or he, hit his head on the
They're
bed
saying the
frame.
headboard.
The headboard, thank you. The headboard, and they were leaning towards the headboard, and then they released this photograph, and they were like, "Yeah, it was probably the headboard." I look at the picture, the fucking headboard is padded.
They said that though.
It's a padded headboard.
They said it was they probably hit himself on something that was padded but hard underneath.
Yeah. What else did he injure himself on? Whipped cream?
Maybe
Clouds?
whipped cream. Well, get this.
Who
Do you
was
hear
it?
the latest?
No, give me the latest.
The latest is that apparently, according to TMZ, Bob Saget told stage crew he was suffering from long-term COVID hearing issues and he was not feeling well that night
Oh my
before he
goodness.
went to the hotel room. He said he wasn't feeling well.
I find out this COVID got him.
I mean, obviously the head injury got him, but there's a woman there, a showrunner, who works at the concert hall where Bob's last show was, and she said, let's see, he was battling long-term COVID issues, took a toll on his body, and as far as what he was dealing with specifically, the woman told cops Bob mentioned his hearing was off, and he was constantly asking them to turn everything up.
This was at the club. Wow, that is interesting because we had not heard this prior
Yeah,
to this moment.
right. This just came out today, according to TMZ.
Hmm. See, now because the valet at the hotel, which also came out with this footage, the valet at the hotel took a selfie with Bob and
Mhm.
said that Bob looked fine. He didn't say he wasn't feeling well. He wasn't complaining of anything. He was happy to see the valet. He was happy to pose for a picture of him. They took the selfie and he moved on like nothing was going on.
Right, but as the article that I'm reading from TMZ speculates, again all speculation, but if your hearing is off, that could mean that your balance, something inside your ear canal controls a lot of it controls your balance, I believe.
Tell me about it, big man.
So misjudging, it's the according to the article, maybe misjudged distance when he laid down on the bed, he plopped down, he could have misjudged how far he was from the wall, hit his head on the headboard, and that maybe caused the injury. Who knows?
Maybe it was the heavy, humid air in Orlando that caused the head injury. I mean, if we're gonna buy this fucking padded headboard story, we might as
Well,
well just buy all of it.
I'm sure it's not that headboard. It's still a board. It may be a little cushion on top of it, but I think if you hit on the top corner, like the edge of it at the top, that's still gonna do some damage. That sharp 90-degree angle at the top of the headboard, I'm sure that's gonna do some kind of damage.
Mm, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe, but I mean, you're talking about what was he doing? WWE moves? Was he jumping in from on top of the desk
He
across the
could have
room?
been jumping from who knows where. I don't know. I mean, no, nobody seems to really know. They're saying that's the most likely scenario is that he hit his head on that headboard, and apparently I don't know how hard it is under that thing and how much cushion is there, but I'm sure there's hard wood right underneath that top of that thing.
I guess so, but it all seems quite shady.
Yeah, no, it's not usual. It's definitely something weird about it. Of course, yeah, he wasn't feeling well. Of course, that might have added to Maybe his unbalance.
I mean, but even if he had the vid, I mean, that's not that's a.
No, I mean they're saying that he was hard of hearing. Maybe that contributed to him being unbalanced, and maybe he misjudged. Maybe he plopped down on the bed. Maybe he hit his head on the side bureau there, the dresser, the side table there.
Well, they also took a picture of the tub, and here's okay. So then they go, oh, maybe he slipped in the tub. But take a look at this. I can't believe I'm outsmarting sheriffs. I mean, granted, I'm not saying I'm smarter than cops, Frank. There's cops in Florida. So,
Florida. I give you that.
Average cop, I'll give it to you.
Totally.
Total respect.
Yeah. 100%.
Florida. I mean, is anything real down there? I don't even know.
Florida's just
attorneys, cops, doctors. It's all kind of bullshit, I think.
Yeah.
They're all just waiting for their next 2-for-1 drinks. Yeah.
Right. So what are you looking for in here?
They go, oh, there was a towel in the tub. So perhaps he did slip coming in and out of the shower. Yeah. Look at the fucking mat and the soap totally not used on the side. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's the first thing you do when you get into the shower. You grab the soap, you put the mat on the floor.
Unless, because the mat wasn't on the floor, that's why he slipped.
But that would have been wet. That's an unwet mat.
What wet? It was hours later.
You're hours later.
Thank you.
Come on. He didn't. What did he shower with? Some of the clouds that he injured his head on. What did you shower with? Soap. He's saying he brought his own soap.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just wanted to, to just jump in real quick.
Man, in his room by himself. You know what that towel is for. You know what's in that towel.
All right, easy.
Okay.
This is America's dad we're talking about.
I know, but I'm just saying, you know what that towel's been used for. It wasn't used for drying yourself off.
You stop it. You stop it now.
That's the truth. That is truth.
No, all right. So there's a towel there. That doesn't mean, the bottom line is we don't know where he slipped. They're saying the most likely spot was the headboard. I mean, I feel like you're not going to see any evidence either, because if you just hit your head on something like that, like underneath the cushion tarps, like the parts like in the middle there where the headboard splits, I'm sure there's a hard edge, like a ledge to that part. Maybe he came down. Maybe he was sitting up for a second and he went back. Maybe he jumped on the bed hoping to sit up, not lay down.
Enough to get killed?
I know. It would have to be really bad, like a really hard hit. But
again, I don't know what it was, and I'm not alleging conspiracy theory here, but we're not getting this full story.
We know we're not.
The fact that the family, that his wife was fighting so hard to not get that stuff released, okay, I'll buy that they were maybe covering up that he had some other health issue or something, and they don't want that public. Okay.
No, I think. All right, go ahead, finish your point, but I don't think that's the reason.
Whatever it is, I'm just saying, like there was next to no investigation. It took forever for us to even get these photos. Why, I don't even know. There's nothing to show here.
Right.
None of this is adding up on any level. And the fact that it's continued and the answers have gotten more bizarre and weird I feel like I would have dropped this a while ago if it was like, oh, he had a heart attack. Okay. Or he hit his head on something and we don't know what it is. He hit his head at some point. Could have been 3 weeks ago. Could have been a day before. We have no idea. But the fact that they're like, hit his head on the headboard. How? What? How? Is the headboard broken? Because it looks like an even headboard to me.
What if it's a solid piece like of marble under that thing? Who the hell knows?
I mean,
you're not going to break that.
Even still, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense.
I'm not saying it makes sense, but what I'm saying is if they were covering something up, why would they give us what they've given us? Stuff that makes us question things. If they were covering something up, they'd give us answers that would satisfy us. They're not giving us that. They're giving us a picture of a headboard that's questionable. Like, could you really hit your head so hard on this thing that it would kill you? And a picture of a bathtub with a towel in it. That's not going to I mean, you'd think if they were covering something up, they'd give you some sort of satisfying answer. Is my point. They would say, here's the edge of the sink he hit his head on. If they were covering up, they would say, right here, we found some hair or something there, and that's case closed. If they were going to cover something up.
I don't know, but it's the dumbness of like, oh, it was a headboard. Like, just don't say anything. How like be like,
Well,
I
they
don't
don't
know.
know. They don't know. I mean, what
Yeah.
else? You go around that room, maybe who, how many hard surfaces? Maybe there's a desk. Maybe there's the TV
But
bureau.
that I could believe. But I could believe we
Well, the
don't
thing
know.
is, they found them in the bed. So,
And then they ended the investigation in 45 minutes. They were like, oh, must have been the headboard again. I'll wrap this one up, boys.
well, maybe the head injury wasn't enough. I mean, I'm probably wrong here, but maybe the head injury itself wasn't enough to kill him, but the fact that he went to bed right after. I know it was a bad injury. It was fractures and whatever, but maybe that could have been treatable if he didn't go to sleep. I don't know.
No, I get that. I get that. I'm not saying he didn't hit his head. I mean, I think it's not that, but I'm not saying he didn't hit his head. But for them to be like, yeah, I don't, is probably the headboard. Like, what are you talking about? There was
I
no
don't know.
blood anywhere, nothing. By the way, people are the back of the head, like
Back of
back
the
by
head.
the neck, like where the head meets the neck.
Skull.
That's
On
where
the
all the bruises were.
on the skull. It fractured so hard
Enough
that
to,
the fracture went around the side to the front.
yeah, had to be that big bad headboard underneath all that fine leather padding.
Well, I'm not saying he hit his head directly onto the padding. I'm saying where the padding is, that stitch in the middle, I'm sure it goes in and there's like a ledge under that is hard. And that's the only thing I could think of. That or the side table that's next to the bed, maybe.
Or perhaps it was the sheriff himself.
Or
the sheriff's cousin. You know how shit is down in the South, Frank.
Yeah, it is
cousin.
It is the Wild West down there.
Whoever has responsibility, they automatically have an asshole cousin that could do something horrible to put them in a tough predicament. To say shit like, I don't know, it must have been the padded headboard that did it.
Do you think the family knows more about what exactly happened? Because I mean, we're stuck with it was the headboard, maybe. Do you think that the family knows it was definitely this or definitely that, and they're just not releasing it?
Well, you look at McAfee's wife, right?
Yeah.
And just, I mean, basically any other high profile person that has died mysteriously, there's always a long-term investigation,
Yeah.
ask for answers. Like, you don't really kind of stop until it's all totally wrapped up and said and done. And even then, people still don't buy stuff, and they're like, I just refuse to believe it.
That's the thing too. If it's an out of nowhere weird death, nobody is going to be satisfied. Unless it's a heart attack. I mean,
But Frank, within 45 minutes, the wife was like, okay. What?
Well, maybe she wasn't. We don't know. We weren't there.
What? Like, it was the
fake news, but not this time.
But we had this, I can't remember when we first had this story, and it wasn't more than a day or so, and they were like, we don't want to drag this on. What?
Well, they had no, it wasn't a murder investigation because they had no suspects.
There was no investigation, period.
All right. That's what
They looked around for drugs, didn't find any. They didn't see blood anywhere, so they were like, all right, must have been that old headboard again. You know how it is. And fucking left.
Do you think that they looked at security footage of the hotel? Do you think they at least did that?
They didn't say they did.
They didn't say they didn't.
Remember, that was the other thing when they had that. By the way, no press conference whatsoever. Very few press releases. And there was no sort of, we checked all the security footage, or we did this or we did that. Nothing.
Yeah, I know. It is definitely not. It's definitely a weird way to go. Number one. Number two, we're not accepting of it because it's weird.
It's too weird.
It is.
All they have to do, by the way, I am off of this. If they're just like, I don't know, we can't explain it,
Really?
then I'm like, okay.
No, you would not. You would be like, well, investigate it.
Well, I would say that, but I would be less. I'd be more. I feel horrible about this because obviously the family doesn't want this constantly being brought up.
No, of course not.
But it's been come to the fact of it's unavoidable because it's so friggin' bizarre. It's just so okay. So I can't even read who brought it up in the chat. Doesn't matter. Chris Cornell's another one. Chris Cornell acting a little strange, but nothing too crazy. The wife still doesn't believe that the guy got off the phone with him, and within an hour and a half, they feel like he was hanging off the bathroom door. It does it, and she's still kind of like, I don't know what the fuck. Still doesn't make sense to her. She's still like distraught. This one is like, okay, must have been the headboard. You're right. What?
I'm sure she's distraught too.
And the kids don't go. That's what weirds me out. Like the kids are not even going along with it because I believe this is the second wife. I don't even know if this is their.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm not kind of sure how his private life was. I'm not there to dig into his private life, but it just seems very fucking strange to me.
No, it's shady. Everybody who's talking about this is saying this is very weird. This is not your average. We found some, because he was in bed and he had this horrible head injury. I mean, how do you explain it? I mean, obviously either something hit him or he hit something. So they looked around. They couldn't figure out that. They probably figured nobody was in the room. Nobody could get in or out. Locked door, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nobody hit him, so he had to hit something. So they looked around, process of elimination, just like 3 things. And they said, well, he hit his head on one of these things.
I mean, we don't even know. In the Chris Cornell situation, she was calling and there was no answer. And she knew he was in the room because that's where the rest of the band left him.
Right.
We don't even know the story of how we even got to a place where they were worried about what.
Yeah, no, I don't know. How do we know what's going on with it? You look at Beddington. There's video of him like the day before. He's happy, he's with his kids, and blah blah blah. But you don't know.
Yeah,
you don't know what's going on.
It's tough. All I know is this is why we don't make jokes about Hillary Clinton. Okay, for this very, very reason. I don't have a padded headboard in my bedroom at all, so I am really at risk.
Right. You got to be careful.
I'm gonna get a helmet for bed. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wear my hockey helmet to bed.
It's gonna be the one night you don't wear a helmet. He wasn't wearing it.
Yeah.
You already have the hair. Nothing can get through that hair.
That's true. Good point. I do have luscious hair. Thanks for the compliment.
No problem.
I may not have said it that way, but I know how you meant it.
No, it's luscious.
Mel Brooks, big story today, obviously.
You keep saying it keeps sounding like you're saying
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah, that's how it was said to me. My wife was like, "Did you hear about Mel Brooks and Donald Trump?" And I go, "This is gonna be a great movie because everything Mel Brooks touches turns to gold."
Right.
And she was like, "No, that's not it. It's Mo Brooks."
It's Mo Brooks. Okay.
Yeah, Mo Brooks.
Yeah, different kind.
And I go, "How can we have Mo Brooks? We didn't have any Brooks to begin with." And she's like, "You're an idiot." Basically, Mo Brooks.
Where's my cricket sound effect?
Mo Brooks, Republican, obviously, was down with Trump pretty much entirely. Just to give everybody the background for people who don't know about Mo Brooks.
Down with the sickness.
Yeah. Then came up with the producers and just really
took off from there.
Just when they thought his career was over.
I mean, Young Frankenstein.
It was beautiful.
Gold.
It was really, really beautiful. He's a representative. He's running for Senate, endorsed by Trump wholeheartedly, said the election was a fraud. In the beginning, he was...
I just want to stop. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt you. Just want to say condolences to Bird in the chat. Just wanted to say that. I don't know if you saw it. I'm sorry to cut you short, but
Totally derail the show. You mean?
it totally derailed the show. But Bird dropped a little bomb. Just wanted to
Oh, that's
address it
horrible. Yeah,
and say very sorry, Bird, to hear
sorry about that.
that. So I'm sorry. Let's talk about the idiot Trump again. Go ahead.
Okay. So the so Brooks was on the podium for the January 6th. He was there. So he was with Trumpy the whole way. Trump fully endorsed him as he was running for Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And then at a rally in August, at a Trump rally in August, Brooks said to the crowd, forget about 2020. It's not about that. It's about 2022 and 2024.
You put the heat on down here?
Not the worst thing.
Oh,
Frank, did you put the heat on?
I don't think I did. No.
Not
right
the
then?
worst. Not the worst thing in the world. He said, "Hey, forget about that. Let's look to 2022 and 2024." He was horrifically booed in Alabama, by the way, his home state. Horrifically booed by the crowd,
Good. And then go ahead.
which is so surprising to me because
go ahead.
I've said
Go
that.
ahead.
I feel like anybody with any sort of sense can say that. I mean, once the clock chimed on 2021 and then on 2022, you know, you got to figure, okay, it's time to let's face it forward a bit
It's
here.
over. There's no going back.
It's no going back. Let's make
Right.
it happen. Let's focus towards the future. I didn't think that was the worst thing to say that you could come up with. Literally booed by his hometown crowd. And then Trump turned on him.
There's a shock.
And then that was the end of it. He
One.
legitimately fell 40 points in the polls. So now he went from this huge lead because he had the Trump endorsement to next to nothing.
If you don't kiss Trump's ass, you'll fall out of his favor. That's the way it
Today-
works with him.
Today,
Jay Sabs, you're wrong. You missed a lot more.
Oh, you know I was counting.
Yeah.
today I missed it. What was she saying now?
She's counting how many times I insult
Oh,
her fearless leader.
Oh yeah,
no, it's not.
not
her
my
feelings.
president.
I'm kidding.
Today, Mo Brooks said, I'm going to play you the audio here. I'm going to give you the speech. He was given a speech and he said that Trump asked him to remove Biden from office, install Trump into office, and then hold a special election. Here's his words direct from Mo Brooks. And then, of course, we'll get reaction to it.
Repeat what has prompted President Trump's ire. The only legal way America can prevent 2020's election debacle is for patriotic Americans to focus on and win the 2022 and 2024 elections so that we have the power to enact laws that give us honest and accurate elections. President Trump has asked me to rescind the 2020 elections, immediately remove Joe Biden from the White House, immediately put President Trump back in the White House, and hold a new special election for the presidency. As a lawyer, I have repeatedly advised President Trump that January 6th was the final election contest verdict, and neither the United States Constitution nor the United States Code permit what President Trump has, period.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Not only that, how in the world would he have any power to do that, to take Biden out? Who was this Mo Brooks? How would he take Biden out of office and put Trump in? What,
Well, I mean,
on
he
what
came up
planet?
He came up with the producers, so let's not
That's true.
act like he's
Oh,
a-
So maybe in movie form he could do it, but
Yeah,
not,
that'd be
not
nice.
in real life.
that would be nice.
This one guy is not going to be able to take a president out of office and put in Trump. Why would Trump assume that Mo Brooks had that kind of power?
Do you
No matter what he's elected to.
Okay, let's start with this. Do you think Mo Brooks is full of shit, or do you think this conversation really happened?
Why would he? What would he gain to make that up?
he doesn't have much to actually he doesn't have much to gain. It's basically suicide in the Republican Party these days.
Exactly. To turn on
But
Trump, it's only gonna cost you in that
he
party.
he could have been so butthurt that he basically went from a walk-off home run in the election in the upcoming election to losing four. I mean, who's ever heard of losing 40 points in a poll? That's a devastating loss. Could he just be because it could this just be so I'm gonna lose anyway? Let me burn the house down. Let me take it all with me.
Maybe. But it seems like, I mean, because this isn't out of Trump's wheelhouse. He's asked who was it? I can't even. George,
I
was
know
it
he had that
Georgia
phone
or
call where
Alabama?
he asked them to find 11,000 votes.
All I need is these votes you can get me. You can get me these votes, then that's it. It's like, no, that's not how this works. So it's not out of his to ask people to do him favors like that is not far fetched. So it's
kind of very bizarre though to be like, hey, you think we can do this? Like, just I don't know on what, like, how. I mean, if it's really true, which it's tough because it's one word against the other.
right.
Two people that I wouldn't fucking trust to do
No.
shit anyway.
I wouldn't trust either one of them.
It's crazy. But I mean, if this really is true, this is like fucking
It doesn't make
alarming.
sense for either of them because why would Trump assume that this one guy had any kind of power to do anything like that?
Like, I don't think that even Trump in his most Trumpian Trumpness could say something like this. I think this is far-fetched even for him, is my point, I guess.
I
I'm
don't
not
know,
saying
man.
he didn't say it, but it just seems like to come up with a wacky plan of like, let's get him out. And when this guy can't really do it. I mean, I don't even know how you would dream this up that he could start. What is he going to do? Whipping members of Congress to start a vote out of nowhere to put
I don't get how he thinks he can get this one guy to do anything like this for him. But Janie, thanks for the support.
super chat. Very nice. Paige's comment it was September of 2021 where Trump asked him to do this.
Okay, so that was less than a year after the election.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it's far-fetched. I think Trump is not. I think he's capable of asking for anything ridiculous.
Yes.
No matter how ridiculous it is.
Do I think that there was a conversation of like, hey, how do we, like, what could we do here? Like, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Like, what could we do anything? Like, I think that can be done. I don't see him being like remove. And by the way, it doesn't even make sense to me. And I'm not defending Trump here. I'm just thinking this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You big conservative, you.
It doesn't even make sense to remove Biden.
I agree, Janie.
Put him in
the comments.
And then have an election.
Agreed. No, it doesn't make any sense. None of what he wants to do makes sense. Once the election is done, it's done. You can't, there's no overturning. There's no going back. They recounted 1 million times. It's over. And it was fraud. Blah, blah. It's done. Move on. And if you look at Janie, one of our subscribers' comments, I think President Trump doesn't, and a lot of presidents don't, have a legal grasp of our Constitution. I agree. He doesn't know what's legal and what's not. And
most of us don't. I mean,
most of us don't. But if you're going to be the president,
that's why why we have White House counsel, because they're constantly like, hey, check and see if we could do this shit. See if this is legal.
But that's why in chapter 10 of my book, Frank, can I be frank? Chapter 10 is there should be a test that you need to take before you can throw your hat in the ring to run for president.
Everybody would fail.
Yeah, that's fine. But there's tests to become a doctor. There's tests to become a lawyer. All these major occupations. But the president, You should have a grasp of the Constitution and some kind of knowledge of global, just being able, maybe economics and what's it called? Being able to identify countries even or their leaders. You should
know
have
why?
some kind of grasp of that. Why?
Because what Anthony says, that's what you have your whole team for.
But you should have a basic knowledge, basic understanding of that.
35
Yeah.
and born here. That's the
That's
rule.
it.
35 and born here.
And pass this test.
Mm-mm.
That's what it should be.
Not going to work.
Not the
Why
way they
not?
wrote it up.
Because
No.
it's not like being a doctor or a lawyer, because you have to do these things yourself.
Yeah. If you have to-
Yeah, but you don't have a team.
sure you
like,
do. If you're a
when you-
doctor.
You don't have a team telling you what you should and shouldn't do. Like you do it yourself.
Lawyers too have teams. Doctors have teams. They do.
Nah, not like the White House. Not like
But if you're the president and you're asked a direct question, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. There was a guy running for president. I forget his name, but in the last election, he was running for president. And he was on the news, and the anchor asked him, "What do you think about the situation in Aleppo?" And the presidential candidate said, "What?" And he goes,
Yeah.
"What do you think about what's going on in Aleppo?" And he goes, I don't know what that word is. I don't know what you're saying." And he had no idea what he was talking about. It's like, if you're going to run for president, you should know capitals of countries, and you should know who leaders are and basic law of our own Constitution.
35 and born here. That is it. That is all you need.
I think that's way too. Your resume should be a little deeper than that.
there
Don't
should
need
be a
much.
test on how long it takes, like how many times you fall asleep during the day, Biden, or what time your nap time is,
Or how many rounds of golf you should play.
or that too. I mean, that's a given though. That's
Right.
a
All right.
given.
So, with all that being said, at this point in the Trump process, are you I mean, there is still this unabashed love and desire to put this guy back in charge. And let me just say it this way. Even if you don't believe 90% of the bad things said about Trump, isn't it still too much to put him back into office?
Yes.
Well, you're asking the wrong guy.
Well, I knew Frank's answer. I guess I was more talking to Janine on this one.
I have no clue.
Like, even if we're going to discount 90% of this as just liberal CNN mainstream media lies,
That's a big ask, by the way.
at 10% of what we've learned and known, isn't that a bit much to go down that aisle again with him for 4 more years?
I mean, I think you have
It's
to be.
It's kind of like when you're dating somebody and they're like, "Oh, I'm not. My ex is, I have a restraining order, but it's not or my restraining order is an ex against me, but it's not. It's like them. It's not me." And you get out on a date, like they tell you like 4 or 5 things, and you're like, "Okay, the 5th thing that's not really you."
Some flag should be flying.
Kind of think it might be you though.
Yeah. There's a pattern here.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Janine, I interrupted you. You were saying.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I really don't know what I'm talking about anyway. So
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You got your pink wine cup. It's a big night for you. I'm sorry. I went a little too far.
I came in way late. Can't stay long.
It's cold. You need heat. I don't know what's happening over there.
I mean, did he turn the? I really don't know if he turned the heat on down here. I hope not, because I'll get a stuffy nose. I'll get the heat coughs. Okay.
I think your husband.
right now?
I think your husband is against you ever since you made him an accessory after the fact to the felony you committed when you had the hit and run. That's just my theory.
Just tell him a husband does not have to testify against his wife.
Oh, I know that already.
He'll
We think
be
I'm
all
dumb. That's why I asked him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah.
are you cold right now or too hot?
No,
down there? Burning up?
it's because like the door is right behind me, so there's a draft because I don't have one of those door bottom thingies,
Uh-huh.
and it's
So you're-
honestly it is usually cold when I come down here, but now I feel like it's hot, so I can't see, but I think the heat is on, and when
You
the
cracked
heat
the
is
door?
on and I don't ask for it, I get very angry.
How about
Opening the
Maybe-
door? Absolutely not, because there might be bugs.
There's no screen door.
Yeah, I don't trust. They can get underneath the door and do whatever.
Anyway,
Climb up on my shoulder, bite my neck.
I give you that
We get it. The heat is on. We learned that back in the 90s with Glenn
from
Fry.
the Pointer Sisters.
Great moment.
Oh God. Bye. Next.
All right. Did you want to give your opinion on the Trump thing? I cut you off.
I forgot the question.
Okay. You don't care. It doesn't matter.
No.
I'm thinking neutron dance. Sorry.
I want to put a button on this too. You want to know the God's honest truth?
Mm.
Because all these politicians are just savages and they can't help each other. DeSantis is going to fuck this guy over in the last lap. DeSantis is going to fuck Trump over.
You think so?
I do. I really do. I really think. At first, I thought DeSantis is ponying up to be Trump's VP with all the stuff that he's doing. We know that Pence can't go back on that ticket, so he was going to run. I just think you're going to have this crazy split, and I think DeSantis with "Don't Say Gay" and his COVID response, he's buttering up to the hardcore conservatives and especially the Trumplicans. And he's going to be like, look, I am all the ideals and views that you love about Trump, and I'm just not that crazy.
I was just going to say.
And
do you think he's going to do that? You think he's going to?
Yeah.
That's not going to be a shoot yourself in the foot kind of thing?
Because like every other politician, I think he's thinking, do I have to suffer 4 years under you to get my moment? Or can I get my moment now? Can I be the guy now? Let's be honest. Obama did the same thing. Everybody had Hillary pegged. This was Hillary's run. And when he started gaining steam, all the talk was, will he take VP under Hillary? Will we elect a woman, a first woman president, an African-American vice president? And then all of a sudden he just had this thing of like, why not me? Why not now? Because that's what you have to do to be in that leadership moment. And he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go for it. And sure enough, he surpassed her. And, we all know what happened. So I think DeSantis is thinking the same thing.
So you think before the election, he's going to just shit on Trump and say, I'm done with him?
Don't they all?
I think in the next year.
Not Republicans.
Yeah. Because let's be honest. He keeps doing. I don't think what DeSantis is doing is not calculated, all of it, and I think a lot of the Republicans fucking love him, and he's just not as wacky. He's not as much of a question mark, and I don't know DeSantis from a hole in the wall, but he probably doesn't have as many skeletons in the closet as Trump does.
We don't know yet. He's not running yet, which is once he starts running, the everything will come out.
Yeah.
We didn't really know too much about Trump until he started running, and then all of a sudden shit just started flying. Thank you, Janie. Another super chat.
Thanks, Janie. At some point, though, all the Republicans are going to realize, well, wow, if we really do band together, maybe we do have enough to kind of, push him out. But it's not going to come without scandal because
why would they want to push him out? According to them, Trump is their guy.
None of the establishment Republicans really like him. They never did.
Well, then they shouldn't have said it.
They just wanted to win themselves.
It's so two-faced. It's unbelievable. Just like Lindsey Graham. Before Trump was elected, Lindsey Graham was like, if we elect Trump, that's the end of the Republican Party and we'll deserve it. That's what he said. And he was elected, and then it's, I love Trump. Trump's the best. We need Trump. I hope Trump comes back. It's like, you either you're on one side of the fence, but then when it's over, you're on the other side. It's just.
Frank, listen, we have to talk about important issues like the singer who's been hospitalized because she was holding in her farts. But I want to give you 2 minutes to do the update on the thing here.
All right.
Because this just came in. The person who quit. Remember we talked about this a couple of months ago. The person who quit
maybe a month ago or so.
Can you do it in 90 seconds?
Yeah. So the prosecutors from the Manhattan District courts, the guys who resigned basically, who said they were investigating Trump, taxes and all this stuff. They had all these things. So the prosecution, there was a few people that resigned, and we were all like, "Why? Why did you resign?" We never really got an answer. as to why they resigned. Everybody was assuming, okay, well, maybe they just didn't find anything and they're giving up. Well, today the New York Times came out with an article. The title is Trump is guilty of, quote, numerous felonies, prosecutor who resigned says. Mark F. Pomerantz, who had investigated the former president, left after Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg halted an effort to seek an indictment. So the guy left, the attorney, one of the prosecuting attorneys, and on his way out, he wrote a letter and said, "I'm leaving, but I still he still committed felonies, numerous felonies." So it's not like that he quit because he didn't quit because they had nothing. Is what we were all speculating at the time. He quit for other reasons. We don't know what they were, but on his way out, he said, "Keep going," basically. And we have a new member. Hey you. By the way,
I will say though, he it wasn't fully complete. That he said like it would have gone to trial. It wasn't a slam dunk, which is why they didn't move forward with it.
well, we don't know that. We don't know what they have or what they don't. And he said, the prosecutor's like he committed numerous felonies. Those are his words.
Well,
So
but
once they come out with it, we'll know.
yeah, I mean, and they would have had to approve it too. So it's
I'm gonna let you read the name of this super chat.
Yeah, Jack Mehoff. Now I'm gonna leave
There you
Jack
go.
with the last word here. They will run DeSantis for POTUS and Trump for VP. Then DeSantis will resign. They will signal that this is exactly the plan. That's crazy, but I'll take it.
That would be one hell of a plan. Holy
That'd be a
crap.
hell of a ride. I just don't know if Trump still has all of it, especially the more and more Republicans that kind of start to wane here a little bit. I
Right.
don't know. But Jack, I will listen to anything you say forever and ever, and I appreciate the super chat. And welcome, hey you.
Hey you.
All right, to more important matters.
Mhm.
Holding in farts. This can be, now that we know, very dangerous.
I mean, we learned this. Did we learn this from the model who was selling her farts?
Yes. Well, she was pushing too hard to, she had to move a lot of product. She had to make it happen.
Oh, she was farting too much.
Farting too much and putting a little bit too much pressure on that old colon of yours. You can't push down there too much. Bad things can happen.
It's a fickle little orifice.
No shit. But anyway, this is a Brazilian singer, apparently hugely popular, like 15 some odd million subscribers on something, TikTok maybe, I don't know. Her name is Vivian de Queiroza Pereira. I thought I had a long name.
Her area.
Okay. She was hospitalized after she was reluctant to fart in front of her boyfriend.
I get it.
We've all done that, but hospitalized? Yeah. How long was she holding this in?
I don't. Let me see here. She woke up at 5:30 in the morning with severe stomach pains and ended up in the hospital. 27 years old. She says that she refused to let him rip because she wasn't on, quote, farting terms, end quote, with her boyfriend.
I get it.
Understandable.
Yeah. She was also heeding some advice from TikTokers that said that you can ignore stomach pains, which will have eventually resulted in her going to the doctor with an accumulation of trapped farts. I believe that's a medical term.
Trapped farts.
I'll tell you what else too. If you can look up pictures of her, just Google Brazilian singer. It'll come up. You don't have to worry about her real name. She's hot. She could have shit in my bed, and I'd be like, it's okay.
That's disgusting.
We're still fine.
Now I wonder. You know what I wonder?
Yeah. Well, oh, now I can see you. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
That's what I forgot. It's been a long, long day. I wonder if there's like a similar medical thing. Trying to get the word out, it's not coming out. To like holding in your duty, because I'm not going to even lie. I've definitely done that. You guys know that at work.
Not only do we know that, but the members also know that, because somehow the chat that we had today in private leaked onto the member area. So I don't know. Can I tell you something? I don't want to cause a problem.
Oh my
But I suspect Frank. I'm pretty sure Frank leaked the chat.
If there's farts,
I
I'm
cannot
leaking.
believe it.
Mm,
Well, okay,
I'm
so
upset too.
No, I didn't leak anything.
How could you do that?
Didn't do it.
Some things have to be private, Frank. I know we promised all access, but
Farts are not private. I'm sorry. On this
Some-
show, we let the farts fly.
we'll let
Go
the
ahead, Jane.
farts out.
continue with your assessment here.
So honestly, like I conditioned myself to not make duties at work, and I would hold it in. What the hell are you laughing at? It's true. I conditioned
Here's your
myself
delivery.
to not make duties at work for years.
That's it. We lost Anthony.
I mean, I when I was the best part of the day was waiting for the train because I knew like it was going to be an hour and I could just be free. But sometimes on the train, I'd be doubled over in pain or just sitting like this on the train.
Oh, the train, the smelliest place on earth.
Okay, because I just knew. But my mother used to tell me, "You're gonna get sick." And I'm like, what could happen? What's gonna happen? Well, obviously, I guess
If you hold it in, yeah,
if
she's
you hold
right.
farts in,
And no, Miss Justice, my coat rack is not naked. There is something on it.
let's see.
Hmm.
Someone's laughing. Yes, Donna said I held them in till my stomach sounded like a whistling balloon. Okay, let me just tell you something. The first week at my job, my old job, I ordered a salad, and they gave me the wrong kind of chicken, but I was starving, so I just ate it anyway. And I was like, you know, when you eat something, you're like, this is definitely gonna mess up my stomach.
Oh yeah, I did that last night. But go ahead, I'll tell you about it.
And I'm sitting next to my new boss, just me and him in his office, and all of a sudden my stomach starts going.
Like a puppy that wants to go outside.
And he was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm good. Right? And I start sweating.
Mm.
And then, of course, because just the type of person he was, he definitely like made it known. Like, he's like, can you just go shit? Can you just go?
And that's what he said.
And I was like, this is like week 2 or 3 though. But that first day, I mean, that first week with the sounds coming out of my stomach, it's like the 4th of July fireworks. What's that one?
The bottle rocket?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I like I said, for years. So
how many years are we talking about here?
I want to say, oh my God, I started working in the city 2003, 2004, and then up until 2013.
Holy cow! You held in a shit for 10 years, basically.
Hold on.
It's not good.
Plus, at my old job, so from 2013 to 2020.
I prefer going at work.
Oh no, you're nuts.
I feel like let that building deal with it. I don't want my house dealing with what I'm throwing down.
You want to know what's funny? In your brother said in the friends chat, I like
Yeah, he
shitting
did.
at work because it's like they're paying me to take a shit.
Exactly. You're on the
Right.
clock.
Yep.
And you're just sitting there and you just count them up as you're sitting there.
Paige, this is Confessions Week for JSABs. Can't wait for Friday.
Yeah, right?
Super chat from Janie. JSABs,
Thank
if you do that, you miss the famous window of opportunity.
If I do what?
If you hold it in for too long, sometimes you could miss it and it won't, then you can't go. Then you get all backed up.
That's no good.
Yeah.
And you're behind
Okay.
schedule.
So there's been a few times. Okay, we're being really honest
Let's
here.
get into
Whatever.
this. Roll up a sleeve, baby.
There's been a few times where it was either I'm gonna duty in my pants right here, or I'm gonna have to find like pretty much everywhere I've worked, I've found a secret bathroom. Like for instance,
Do
This
they
is-
do they
this is
legally
bad.
qualify as bathrooms?
They do, but
Okay. It's not like a bucket in a hallway, right?
no. Oh God, no. I knew that in one floor of my building in the city where I worked, it was a vacant floor,
Oh boy.
but the bathrooms you could
Fully
they were
operational.
they were not locked. The time I had to go in there was 2 roaches on the floor,
Ugh.
and
The animal or the drug?
the animal,
Okay.
no bug.
Bug. Look
I
at this.
I actually sacrificed being near roaches to not make a duty on my floor. Okay? That's how desperate I am.
So you didn't go into that bathroom because there were 2 roaches on the floor?
No. I did.
Oh, you
And
did?
I didn't go to the one on my floor, which didn't have any roaches.
That's how bad you had to go to the bathroom. Now, did you keep visiting this secret bathroom?
Absolutely.
That's hysterical.
I think I only saw it only one other time, but yeah, I'm getting itchy. I cannot stand roaches. I think they're the most disgusting things. I'd rather see a mouse than see a roach. That's
about a
how
rat?
disgusting. Oh, yeah, but I'd rather see a rat than a roach.
We'd rather see a rat in that bathroom on the floor than a roach.
Yep.
How do you feel about a moist roach?
Look,
Dude. Oh, I did not. Wait. So Jack Meehaw.
We lost Frank to the chat. I mean, he's just.
This is exciting. I'm enjoying
what do they
this.
say?
Well, we got a bunch of super chats. David Christopher wants me to compliment Trump for 5 minutes. I'd never agreed to that. So if you want to give him his $4.99 back, that's fine.
We'll refund you.
Wow.
I'll be honest with you. It's going to cost a lot more than $4.99.
It's not going to happen.
Listen to this. Wait.
What?
Listen to this genius thing. I would fart into toilet paper so the sound in the bathroom wouldn't be so loud. I mean, this is the smartest person on earth.
Why wouldn't you want the sound to be loud? If I had a megaphone, that's the only thing I can imagine being better than the natural echo of a bathroom. Got to be proud of it. Jack Meehoff with another $5. Thank you. Waiting for Frank to fess up to doing an upper decker at work. Go ahead. I've never done an upper decker, especially at work, because they don't have upper decks in most public toilets. They don't have. That's not the reason I haven't.
My old one did. Yep.
That's not the reason I haven't done it. I would never. I don't think I've never done and probably will never do an upper decker. I don't think that's.
I would love to do an upper decker.
I would definitely do that. Once they let you go, you're like, I just had to go to the bathroom real quick.
But no, last night I did the absolute wrong thing.
What'd you eat?
I ate middle of the night.
Taco Bell.
I've been promising myself, close, very close. I've been promising myself, not going to eat in the middle of the night, get up, get a snack, whatever. Last night, I don't know, I was starving. So I got up and I got three tortillas. I got 6 slices of Kraft single American cheese. I made 3 kind of quesadillas.
Yeah.
And put Frank's Red Hot all over them. And I just went to town on these 3 things. It was like midnight.
How do you call yourself Italian? Get out of here.
Why? Well, I don't have to.
Okay, I know. That's
not
everything
Italian. I eat has to be crazy Italian.
But Frank, why would you ever use... Right. Why would you use Kraft instead of like taco cheese for a quesadilla?
Because there wasn't a store in my backyard. I had cheese in the fridge. I grabbed the cheese,
the shredded cheese, right? Because that's better for a quesadilla.
It might, but I didn't have that on hand. It was midnight, and I was just looking for something to eat.
And you just needed a quesadilla. Wait, was it I need a quesadilla, or I just need something to eat, and that's the first combination that came to be? It was that one.
It wasn't really.
Frank, are you pregnant?
Craving. I'm not pregnant.
Good question.
Is
anybody in your household pregnant?
No.
Okay.
But I wasn't craving a quesadilla, but when the idea hit me, I was like, oh crap, I got to do this. So I did it. And I got to tell you, today was no picnic for the wife. Gonna be
All right.
honest.
I have to ask this because you said something there and we can't let it go by. By the way, Robin's great comment. My stomach will form sentences when hungry. That's hysterical. You had okay, let me rephrase. You had to promise yourself you wouldn't do this anymore because you're snacking in the middle of the night is such a problem.
Because I'm trying to lose weight. Not snacking in the middle of the night, like just eating before I go to sleep.
Okay.
Just having a snack or something. I'm trying not to do that as much because I'm trying to lose a little more weight. And last night I just freaking caved. I was like, you know what? I'm starving. I want something, and tonight's my cheat night.
Yeah. Okay, because you made it sound like you get out of bed and like go
no
kitchen.
No.
Or you eat a salami sandwich right, next to your bed after you have, or while you're having sex.
It's been known to happen.
That sounds like a good time to me.
Can neither confirm nor deny that. Wait. Yeah, I have no comment on that.
You check with counsel? All right, so this was all born from, well, aside the fact that the lady hospitalized herself from holding a fart for like 4 days. This was all born from this thing that was one of our friends sent to us, which is, where are the worst places to have to go poop? Before we dive into this, I have to ask Janine. Well, it's a little tough with Janine though, because you knew your husband from an early age,
Right.
a not totally mature age. I mean, you still haven't matured, but we'll get there one day, I guess. How long did you wait before you farted in front of your husband?
I'd say years.
Years.
Wow.
And we've already spoken about this. He never really farted in front of me.
To this day.
You're gonna laugh at this. It started with the pandemic. That's when, like, the first time I've heard him fart.
I forgot about this. Yeah, that's right. I forgot your husband's.
He's not a. Hey, did you hear that? Funny, ha ha ha. He's not like that at all. I'm like that.
I wonder. I was gonna say. I wonder if that's because he's a gentleman, or because you and your brother do enough for the entire population of the United States.
You've never heard me fart.
I don't know.
I did live with you for a week in North Carolina. Let me think about this.
And I was pregnant.
And you were pregnant.
Oh boy.
I may not have heard it, but you had to have had farted in that time.
Then it doesn't count if you didn't hear it.
I guess so. I guess so.
But it like probably just accidentally slipped out maybe 2-3 years after you started dating, and we started dating when we were 16. So
I would love to know in the comments how long, because I don't think the men wait. I think men.
Yes.
I mean, Frank, you correct me if I'm wrong here. My mentality is this a girl I can start to fart in front of like the third or fourth time we're hanging out? Because that's the sign of this might be a long-term relationship.
I tried. Well, I think it's person to person. I don't think it's a man-woman thing, because I try not to let it go until I don't know when. It's different. It's different. It's relationship to relationship, because I don't know when it's the right time until it happens. It's.
I would love to have another man on this podcast. It'd be fucking great. It really would be nice. It depends on
Let's get some of those Team Frankie C's on this chat. Let's go.
Okay, I like Roz here. My boyfriend didn't wait at all. See, that's a fucking man right there. That is a man.
Only men fart in front of their dates.
Yeah.
Greasing on date number 1. That's what I'm fucking talking about. First date farts from Jack Mehoff. All right. Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
That's fine. Thank you, herself.
I think the longest I ever waited was like 4 dates. Like that was really it.
4 dates.
It's funny. My last boss, I heard him fart way more than I've ever heard my husband fart. Ever.
Your husband's an anomaly though.
I know. He doesn't. He's
a weird character.
I would say to him, like, do you wait until you get in the car to fart to go to work and back from work? Your car must stink the whole way. Because honestly, when do you do it? I don't get it.
The first thing I do in the morning before I even go pee, I fart. It's just.
I use farts to punctuate sentences with my wife. She asked me, "Do you want to go to this thing?" I go, "No, I don't." And it's the perfect end to a sentence because it's just there's no coming back from that.
Can I tell you a great fart story that will get me in a lot of trouble?
Yes,
Go
please.
ahead.
I know this. I know
There's a
this
good
woman. She was on a date.
Mm.
In the area that we all come from is right next to John F. Kennedy Airport, where there are a lot of airplanes.
True.
A lot of places in New York City, you're basically close to an airport, and planes go over and they're super loud. She had a fart really bad. She was in a car, and the plane passed, and she thought, I know, I'll slip it out now. She farted. The fart lasted longer than the airplane that was passing.
How is that physically possible?
Oh, I know who this is.
So the airplane passed,
Anthony's
and
wife.
she was still farting. And she had just no excuse after that.
You know who this is? I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be his wife.
Oh no! Did you just out your wife with a fart story? Oh yeah, because it's gonna get you in trouble. Of
No,
course.
that's stupid. No, I'm not that stupid.
You said it's a fart story that's gonna get you in trouble.
That beautiful woman happens to be my mother.
Oh.
Oh, that's hysterical.
She told me that story. Yeah, that's
Your poor
that's
mom.
a true story. And
That's messed up.
My mom will never forgive me for telling the entire world this, but that's the truth.
Amazing. Thank you, David Christopher, for becoming a member.
Hey, David Christopher, welcome to the crew.
Got a new member. Appreciate
Why?
that.
Why'd you do this to yourself? That is really funny. That is really funny.
Because women wait. Women will. I feel like women are embarrassed. Women won't go to the bathroom. They won't fart, and men don't have that. That's definitely a difference between men and women.
That is.
Yeah, for the most part. But I when I was dating and whatever, I didn't like to do that in front of women. I don't do that in front of my friends. In front of
shit with the door open, Frank. That's it. That cancels out. That cancels out.
Well, we've been married for 11 years.
I've heard you fart a billion times. So you can't.
No,
you don't do that.
my women friends.
Oh.
I don't ask anybody. I don't. They'd never. Have you heard me, J-Sab?
Unfortunately, no.
My own sister-in-law says she doesn't hear me. I'm telling you. We asked her, I think, one time on this show, and she said no, she doesn't hear me.
That's right. We did bring your sister-in-law into the mix to see if, and yeah.
I try not to. I
you're
don't.
Such a weirdo.
All right.
You're such a weirdo. Bird, Ant's mom is texting him already. I hope you guys appreciate that story because it cost me the fucking potato pie at Easter coming up. Okay, now we're not gonna have that. I hope you people appreciate the sacrifice.
The one appetizer that causes the most farts, the potato pie.
Yeah, basically, yeah. All right. So the worst places to have to poop. Here's the list: porta potty, the beach, house party, an airplane, sporting event, when there is no bathroom close to you, new hookups place, your significant other's family house, in a stall in a crowded bathroom, a small restaurant bathroom, bus, gas station, train, concert/festival, bar, or Starbucks.
I already have my winner.
The worst places to poop?
Worst place to poop. I already got it.
Why don't we start with the place that shouldn't be on this list?
Starbucks.
Why? Right? Go ahead, Jenny.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it's no lie. It's no, whatever, that I don't make duties at work. I would leave and I would go to a Starbucks to make duty. You know why? It's like the ultimate fantasy to make a duty. Here's why.
What?
It's the ultimate place. There is a occupied or vacant sign. Mm-hmm. That's like key. That is key. Okay? There's no one jingling the lock to see if anyone's in there. There's no knocking. You're in there and someone knows you're in there.
Yeah, but sometimes there's a line forming.
It's fine. It's fine. And you're a single person. Single stall bathrooms are they're just better than a crowded bath, in a stall in a crowded bathroom.
I think crowded gives you there's no pressure on you. Hurry up.
No.
'Cause there's other options for people.
Nope.
All right, so we got a lot of activity. Jack Mehoff with $2, super chat.
Wait, say that again, Frank.
Jack who off, Frank?
Jack Mehoff.
For
Let's see.
wait for
what?
Say that again. Who
For
was
what?
it?
Why? I know it's a joke. I know that.
No, but you have to say the name and how much they gave. That's the point of a super chat. So do it right. Go ahead. That's proper etiquette.
Oh, Jack Mehoff for $2. Great, very good. Frank should have a Viola audio button. Welcome, Lisa G, as a new member to the group. I appreciate that. You're a jerk. Jack Mehoff for $2, folks. Janie, $2 on worst places in the woods.
For $2.
I disagree. I think best places in the woods. If you have toilet paper.
I got to share you what some of the members were saying when we dropped this earlier.
Okay.
On that topic of where there is no bathroom close to you. I'm not going to read the person's name, but this was such an interesting answer. And it just goes to show you the difference in how we grew up from how other people grew up. My grandma had a hole in the ground with a large leafy bush in front of the hole. We would poop using the leaves to wipe, then deposit in the hole. I was a kid then on a 980-acre ranch. This was adventurous. When I think back, I wonder why there wasn't a bathroom. An outhouse stood next to her ranch home. That was it. If you're a distance from her home or the hole, you improvised. From beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
And there's no flush in that.
No.
That stays right where it is.
But this was such a great thing to read because that was commonplace. You shit in the outhouse, you shit in the hole, and if you're not near the hole, and you fucking figure it out.
Yeah, no, that's the way they did it.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing here that's a little weird about this list. When there is no bathroom close to you is very vague. Because if there's no bathroom close for you, where are you going? That's the point, right?
In your pants.
See, yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. No, but I don't think so because because they show a desert in this picture, and if that's the case, if you're in a desert, like here's my whole thing with
the problem with a desert is cleanup.
But
cleanup is an issue. True. Oh, I didn't even think of that. In a desert, in a forest, you're okay. You got some leaves.
Forest, you could work with that.
You could work with it. It'll take a while. You're going to eventually wind up bleeding anyway, but at least you've kind of figured it out.
A little bit.
And I didn't think of a desert. That's a real tough.
Desert's a rough. You can't. There's nothing there for you.
Yeah.
You could dig a hole, but then.
And I don't know what movie it was. Maybe City Slickers, but I have a deathly fear of pooping.
Snake biting you.
The snake. Yeah, I don't want to. It was City Slickers, wasn't it?
It was, but it wasn't a snake in City Slickers. It was a cactus.
Oh, that's right. It was a spoiler alert.
City Slickers 2. That was how many 20 years ago? Spoiler alert.
Still, you don't want to ruin it for people.
It wasn't integral to the plot.
Yeah, but I think the embarrassment comes from other people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's why I don't like that one. I think that one would be mine.
Mine would be porta potty.
Well, porta potties are just gross.
That's why. Because it's
that's
disgusting.
Your worst place, a porta potty?
I have no problem in almost any one of these except porta potty is gross.
Is it because you're dutying on top of duty?
On top of just a mountain of other people's whatever. You open that door and you're instantly transported to a world where time and space no longer matter. You're just in this shitstorm of a box.
Literally.
And there's nothing you could do about it, and it's just the worst existence you could imagine yourself in that moment. And every other place there are options. Maybe it might be dirty, but at least there's flushable options, or this is just you're just pooping on top of poop on top of poop on top of poop, and it's awful.
Welcome, Lisa G, our latest member. Again, if you guys want to join, become a member, get exclusive content, get content early. Membership link is up on the homepage of anthonyonair.com. Just click on that and you'll be all set. Or, of course, it's under any of the videos. And for my Facebookers out there and those who are listening or maybe watching on Spotify or any other podcast network, go on over to our YouTube channel or the homepage, like I said, and click to join. You're going to get exclusive content there.
Yep, we already started exclusive stuff. Everybody's got some stuff you're not going to get on this show.
Problem with the porta potty too. Even I've noticed this, like even when I go in there to pee, a summertime porta potty, you are instantly sweating in that thing. It is just a fucking greenhouse of shit.
And I feel like when I leave there, I feel like a different person. I feel like I'm not the same person as when I went in.
Well, you're lucky because you don't have to sit down. You can just whip it out. But Donna said the worst thing is a porta potty at a concert. I disagree. Porta potty on the morning of a walk. I mean, not a walk, a race, like a 5K or one of those like Tough Mudders. That is probably the most disgusting thing because a lot of people have drank the night before and they have the beer duties in the toilet.
I got one better for you.
Disgusting. But my thing is not even. Mine is the crowded stall, crowded bathroom.
Nah, I'm fine with that. As long as I got a stall to myself, I have no problem.
No.
I don't mind that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say because there's some anonymity to the crowded bathroom. You know,
porta potty's rough. Especially here's the worst kind of porta potty. These random ones that are like, if you walk through Manhattan, you'll see like a couple of random ones set up. Like in Times Square, there's a bunch, or here or there. Those are the worst because 1,000 people went into them already. It's not neat and clean. You know you're going into. You basically, it's cleaner to go into the sewer and do it. Okay, so you walk. As soon as you walk in there, it's a mess. Not everything made it into that hole, and there's nowhere to. And there's nowhere. Sometimes there's no toilet paper. Sometimes and there's no real way to. You can't wash your hands. Everybody's touching the handle. It's a mess. Porta potties are disgusting. And no matter which way you shake it, and that scene from Jackass scarred me for life.
Oh, that is a great scene. God. That is hysterical. David, the worst is having to coffee poo and having to walk up a huge flight of steps to do so.
Oh,
true story.
Oh, you poor bastard.
I like to hear that story.
David Christopher.
The morning coffee shits are bad. This is what drives me crazy. Everybody poos around the same time, right? And probably most people in the morning. You ever have that morning where you're just like, why haven't I had to go? Like, and you're drinking coffee and maybe you're having your little toast and whatever, and you're kind of like, this is odd. I don't have to go. And then
have a regular time.
Really? Because this will happen to me. Like I'll have a meeting or I'll have something to go to like in the morning, and there'll be nothing. And then I get in the car, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I gotta go back. It's like your asshole is spiting you and just knows I'm gonna make this dickhead late today.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I think out of all these, I think the porta potty. I can't see because all the other ones, a gas station, there's a chance it's somewhat clean. Maybe you're the first person of the day. Even if you're in a porta potty and you're the first person of the day, somehow it just feels terrible in there. And the smell is awful.
One time, David had to shit while mountain biking and used a down tree as a seat. I think that's actually a stroke of genius.
Wait, I have a question, but I just want to thank Rose for the super chat. Thank you, Rose Kronberg.
Thanks, Rose.
So you're sitting on a downed tree. I don't understand how you're not sitting in your own waist.
Yeah, because you kind of like lean up against it.
Oh, like it's your back support.
Yeah.
All right, you're not sitting on the tree. You're sitting up against the tree.
I don't think it could be your front support because you'd lose a.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
There's nothing like if you're in that situation, finding something to prop yourself up against.
That's like discovering gold.
Basically,
you're made in the shade, baby.
Well, I have to say though, for me, it's the bottom two on the left. Shitting when you're dating somebody in their place, that's dangerous territory. And the only thing worse than that for me is when you're dating somebody for a while and you're at their family's house and you have to take a dump.
Oh, that's
That's
amazing. That's cool. That's called letting them know what you're about right off the bat.
Yeah, because that's it's one thing because when you're dating somebody to fart in front of them or whatever, you're laying the groundwork. You're being like, this is who I am. I shit and I
Right.
fart, and you should get used to this. If you can't handle this right now, there's no sense in continuing this relationship. But the family is a whole nother thing altogether.
Well, the family, I like the family. If the family is all there, it's like a big family thing. That's fine because at least they're not like
Yeah.
waiting for you. It's not like attention. You have to stop what they're doing and wait for you to come back. They're busy. They're occupied with each other.
You don't think they notice?
Maybe, but I think your chances are a little better if there's like 10 people in the house rather than just you and the significant other.
I don't know. I think even like with 15, 20 people, you're gonna hear, oh, where'd Frank go?
I think to the bathroom, and then 2-3 people like, oh, he's definitely shitting.
Yeah, but by the time that happens,
because what happens? You pass that like 8-minute mark, then 12 minutes, and you're like, oh, he must be shitting. Yeah,
by the time that happens, I'm not in there for 12 minutes. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Unless I'm really involved in a game that I'm playing, or a Magic Eye poster.
Yeah.
I'm not in there for that long.
You could say I was on the phone with my mom.
When you?
I don't know.
That's not why.
No.
Why? What? With your mom? Maybe.
No.
Oh.
I don't know. You just got me nervous, so thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I like to call your mom when I take a shit too, Janine.
She talks me through it. We get through it together. It's great. She's a good motivator.
Yeah, Frank, we got some more super chats. Can you handle that while I?
We got another Jack Mehoff for $5. Anyone else thinking of the laxative scene from Dumb and Dumber or the Pope of Greenwich Village? Yeah, no, that one always comes to mind. That's a great one. And what's Jeff Daniels? One of the best. I mean, he just nailed that scene. That was hilarious. Dumb and Dumber, probably top 10 in my comedy list.
Really?
It's hilarious, and it's always good.
I'm gonna go broke.
At least top 20. At least top 20.
I'm gonna go broke having a fun Jack because I'm gonna start giving him money. I'm enjoying it so much. All right, quickly. Hillary Clinton made a big mistake on Twitter today. Is there nobody in the Clinton camp that can like keep them away from doing
screen these things?
Yeah. Like, hey, run the tweets by me for a sec before we go crazy and start.
I feel she walked right into that.
I mean, are you insane? She acts like she doesn't know what Twitter is like. She tweeted out, okay, so she got COVID. She tweeted out that she had COVID. Then she tweeted out like, oh, everybody, it's okay. Like I have mild symptoms and blah, blah, blah. And then she tweeted, Bill tested negative and is feeling fine. He's quarantining until our household is fully in the clear. Movie recommendations appreciated.
That is lobbing it over the plate.
Like, I mean, are you insane?
You never, yeah. I mean, I get she's trying to be, a person on Twitter having fun. But when you are who you are,
that was my suggestion. Is that too close to home? Is that not appropriate?
That's a bullseye.
I can never tell.
It's a bullseye.
Man, it's hard to judge sometimes on what's okay and not okay.
That'll do. Did she respond at all?
I don't think she responds to things on Twitter. I think she sends a hitman.
Oh, see, though, I had nothing to do with this. This tweet that you sent, Anthony, by yourself. You sent that.
Well, we all know you run the Twitter account, so
I don't even know what a Twitter account is.
Like I said, I have to wear a helmet to bed because my headboard does have a sharp edge to it, so I'm frankly concerned.
Right.
I just want to tell everybody, a la my good pal Jesse Smollett, that I am not suicidal. I am very happy right now. Things are great.
If anything happens,
look
into it.
Just look to this tweet.
I
want that tweet on the front page of all the newspapers if I go down.
I think you're probably number one, 112,000 on the list, though.
Yeah.
Of people who tweeted something like that.
All right. I'm going to skip the Home Depot thing because that's too bizarre. Maybe next episode we'll get to it. Janine sent me this one, though. TikTok warns about March 30th. J-Sabs, do you know where this is coming from?
It came up in my suggestion.
I know. Then she sends it to me like, I want to fucking deal with this shit.
What's March?
Supposedly, watch out, March 30th.
For what?
You'll see. You'll see.
You got to give me a little more information. Who sent it? What did the video say? What did it look like? What,
I like that
music?
play, Janine. You'll find out. You have to wait and see, Frank.
Oh no, I'm not. What is that? 7 days from now? I can't do that. Oh no, that's the ring. In 7 days, we'll get March 30th. Oh god.
All right, here I'll bring it up for everybody so they can see. It's just a bizarre thing.
Okay.
Oh wait, how do I kill the music? I don't want you guys to hear this. Okay.
There you go.
You will be told it's okay to step outside when the fog is covering the sky on March 30th, 2022. Ignore them. Stay indoors at all costs. They want you. You know too much. The hunt has begun.
Okay.
See,
is this the modern version of what are those called? Chainmail things?
No, because they would say send this to 3 friends if you want to be,
But you don't have to because it's on TikTok. It's just going to keep going anyway.
That's true. It's going to 3 friends no matter if you send it or not.
Exactly. So it's a Wednesday, March 30th. So I'll be indoors anyway. Is there a time? This is all it is.
This doesn't affect you because you don't leave your house ever. So that's
kind of true.
You're going to be just fine.
Can we tell what city this is? No, we can't. Do we know anything about the account?
No.
Agent
Goodell? Yeah.
I like that it has 250,000 likes. That's good.
It is insanely viral. Insanely viral.
All right, so March 30th, apparently there's going to be a bunch of fog outside, and we're to avoid that fog.
Yeah, which makes me wonder, why are we obsessed with our own, like, this is like all the pastors and shit that go, the world's going to end. Like, look out, everybody. June 3rd, world's going into an end. Like, and they have nothing to lose, but we all are like, fuck, did you hear?
Yeah, let's set the record straight right now. Nobody knows when the world's going to end. Let's stop this.
I think
March
Janine
30th.
knows something. She started this.
I mean,
Janine, do you know anything?
I mean, I don't want to scare you.
Well, there any?
You'll find out in a week.
Go back. Can you go back to that tweet or TikTok?
I can. I have many talents.
It is okay to stay outside when the fog.
And they put a foggy picture in the background, and it's bouncing around and looking all kinds of weird.
Okay, so.
And there's eerie music. I killed it because I don't, but there's eerie music.
I mean, I tend not to. When something like this comes across, I tend to ignore it when there are grammatical mistakes. Ignore them, stay indoors at all costs. It should be ignore them and stay indoors at all costs.
Okay. Right.
They want you know too much it should be 2 separate sentences.
What are you going to do next? Remind the teacher they forgot to give us homework for the weekend?
I'm just saying, if this were like a legitimate prophecy or something, I think they'd at least get the grammar correct. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
And let's see. Jack Mehoff wants J-Sabs to finally release that fart for $2. He's put up $2 for that. Release that fart, J-Sabs.
Oh, see, we lost her.
I wonder
if she would fart on or on camera. If there would be an on-camera fart.
That could probably cause the fog on the 30th. I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
When she finally releases it, we're all in trouble.
Have you ever seen the video of Tom Segura's mother farting?
No.
Tom Segura is a hilarious comic. If people who don't know, I hope we don't get flagged for this, but I mean, I have to play this now.
Oh no, this whole thing's been for nothing.
Yeah, it's got to be played. He put this on. I guess his mom has like gas issues or whatever. And he walked in on her in the kitchen. She was in her kitchen, and he caught her farting. And it is the most hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious. Let me pull this off because I don't know. Okay, it's the most hilarious fart that I have ever seen. It is so good. Full credits here to Tom Segura. Here's the. It's even funnier to watch because you got to watch to the end, but even to listen will be funny.
Oh man, that was a good one. She must feel so much better after that.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones where you feel your organs drop like 3 inches after you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever have those where you're just like, you ever have a fart that's like that? It lasts so long, you're out of breath because it's like you're underwater for too long because you're just squeezing it out and you haven't taken a breath.
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. It's a wonderful feeling. Thank you for the super chat, David Christopher. Appreciate that. Janine really left the camera to take a dump. Well, we unconfirmed at the moment. We'll see.
Unconfirmed, but our leading, that's the only suspect we have at the moment.
And I think she's probably preparing her bunker for March 30th.
True. And also, here's the thing. Even though she's not on camera, if she's taking a shit right now, she's still watching the show. I just want everybody to know that.
Yeah, she's probably going to be popping up in the chat any minute.
Loves to watch the show while she's taking a shit. And just like that is coming back for season 2. I hope it starts with Big in the shower, just a la Dallas. Dream season. We're back to normal. Big's there. Fucking laying pipe again.
Big's over.
No.
There's no more Big, buddy.
Well, I saw about a Peloton commercial, and then he molested people the week after. I don't know.
That's why he's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We come back, Big's in the shower, and he's getting ready for his sexual harassment trial, and Carrie's going to stand by him.
Is that, you think that would... That could be that's a season. That's people would tune
into that.
People would tune into that. I would imagine.
Be more.
I think it's a big left turn for the show, but
be more entertaining than the horse shit they slung our way last season. I'll tell you that much.
That's granted. I had never. For those who don't know, I was never a big fan of the original show. I didn't watch this new sequel show. So yeah, I could.
Poignant ask from Jack J-Sabs. How about a courtesy flush? That would be nice, actually.
Courtesy flush is always good. I always forget about the courtesy flush,
especially at this point in the show. All right, this is gonna make you fucking cry because it made me cry.
You're gonna drop the mood now.
There's a band in the Ukraine, and of course you know that Ed Sheeran. We talked about this last episode. Ed Sheeran, Camila Cabello, the UK. They're doing this whole concert for the Ukrainians.
Just a quick side note, Onion, are you all really censoring chats? No, we are not. We're not censoring anybody's chats. If you post something and it doesn't go up, that's YouTube's algorithm or something censoring it, right?
I wouldn't even know how to do that.
I have no idea how to stop a chat. It is what it is. We're not stopping anything.
Well, we're doing it.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta keep our eye on everybody out there. We just talked about shit for the last hour and 45 minutes.
Look at us censoring stuff. No, we're not.
This is the longest conversation about taking a shit in weird places on record. And what could we possibly censor after that?
No censoring here.
All right, here's this band. A little broken English here, guys talking, but he's addressing Ed Sheeran on TikTok. I love this.
Hello, Ed. Greetings from Kyiv. We are Ukrainian musicians of the Ukrainian band Antitila, one of the most popular Ukrainian bands with a lot of fans in Ukraine and all over the world. In peacetime, our concerts gather at stadiums. The war has changed our lives. And now we are fighting with weapons against the Russian occupiers. We thank you and all of the British people for their support. Believe me, we are grateful, and we will always remember this. Today, we learned about your charity concert for Ukraine, which will take place in Birmingham. And we offer to make a live broadcast between Kyiv and Birmingham with Antitila temporarily joining the gig remotely. Our band will play our music in Kyiv, a city that has not surrendered and will never surrender to the Russian occupiers. You will play in Birmingham. We are not afraid to play under the bombs. Through music, we want to show the world that Ukraine is strong and unconquered. We will fight and sing for victory in front of the whole world that support us. So, on March 29, we ready. Hello, Ed. Greetings
I mean,
from
how
Kyiv.
incredible
Wow.
is that?
It just, the bravery and the absolute awesomeness does not stop coming from Ukraine.
Mm.
They just keep churning it out. Heroes and just people like that. It's amazing. It's unbelievable.
There's some things you don't think about, and then every now and then something pops up and puts everything into focus. And here's a band that who the hell's ever heard of them here in the United States? Why would we? They're just big in the Ukraine, and yeah, it would be like if I don't know, Green Day suddenly had to take up arms and was fighting in a war. Like you would, it would. That's some
Yeah,
unbelievable
like Elvis
shit.
did. Yeah, Elvis joined the.
Yeah,
When he was big, he joined the army.
and the
That's it.
balls to be like, hey, we're in I was watching this go, oh, don't say where you're gonna be because everybody's watching. I think like oh we'll tell like we'll hook it up, we won't say, but they're saying where they're gonna be. They're gonna do so. I mean, that's amazing to me. So a couple of
Yeah.
weeks or next week
Next week, next Tuesday.
We'll keep track of this. We'll see if they
A day. I don't want to. It's March 29th. Is that?
day before the fog. Yeah. Well,
Day before the
Onion pointed well put it.
allegedly.
Day before the
But
fog.
no, this is great, and more power to them. I love that we're not afraid to play our music under the bombs. It's just we're not surrendering, and it's amazing how this war has taken down Russia's. Nobody's looking at Russia like we stand with Russia. There's none of that. And if there is, then you're on the wrong side.
Most Russians aren't even saying that.
It's that simple. Yeah, I mean, I stand with the Russian citizens. They have no choice. They're not. They're caught up in this. It's their leader who's doing this, and it's a shame that's what's going on. But that's what they're living with. But the Ukraine, it's amazing. That video was great. More stuff like that circulates, the more support they'll get. It's great. Love it.
Yeah. And that you nailed it. That line of we're not afraid to play under bombs. It's like because even if they weren't going to be sought out, the idea that you're just going to be in the middle of a war zone playing music,
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy, But
it's a big FU to Russia. Love it.
Yeah, it really is. So kudos to them.
Yes, it is Putin that is to blame. Absolutely.
We've had a lot of great fan feedback. I got a couple of leftover ones from last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And these are for Janine now, I'm realizing, and she's not here to answer them. So
yeah, read them anyway. I'm kidding. Whatever you want to read.
Janie wanted Janine to explain the definition of reverse cowgirl. So we'll save that for Janine to explain.
Well, if you know what regular cowgirl is, just spin around.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we can say.
Conspiracy theory. I was wondering how long this would take. Lynn, conspiracy theories. I'm wondering if the big guy connection to Ukraine has been wiped off the laptop and we will be distracted by Hunter immorality, which will be excused by the Supreme Court nominee. I wonder how long people like the whole the Ukraine war and Hunter connection and all that. Like, I'm surprised we haven't heard more of that kind of stuff.
I mean, there's always something. Whenever something goes on, there's always more than one thing happening. So there's like a wag the dog thing. Like, oh, look over here, look over here. There's still everything's still being. It's not like things are being ignored completely. So that's at least everything's being looked at.
Mm-hmm. Lana, any outlet would have ran the Hunter Biden story. The story was out there, and they all jumped on Russian disinformation. They do it or don't all the time. Yeah, we talked about that. I like John talking about. We talked about the Hunter topic last episode. John wrote in, Frankie C's apathy towards the first topic was toxically palpable.
My apathy towards it.
It was a
Well, the
world.
first topic was the Hunter thing.
Mhm.
I wasn't apathetic toward it. I was, I said if it's all true, absolutely, he should be held accountable for everything. If it's all proven and everything, then yes, absolutely, hold Hunter accountable. He should face every consequence there is. 100%. I'm totally behind that. If everything turns out, all this investigating turns out to be true, then yes, hold him accountable all the way. There's no apathy.
We'll leave the last word for Paige here. Agreed, Ukrainians are strong, united, and grateful humans. I have to say, what else? I was wrong about something else. We were just talking about, and I was like, I have to admit that I was wrong about this, and I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm sure another thing you'll be wrong at will come up. So
yeah. I was also wrong in the fact that I cannot believe, when did the invasion start? Beginning of March?
about then. I don't know the exact day. But
I didn't think we'd still be here. I thought it would be over by now. So
they're standing strong, man. They're tougher than we thought.
And I think they're gonna make it through. I mean, their country's gonna be shit. Everything is just gonna be rubble, But I don't think they're gonna give up, And that's what you got to do. Hey, kill every last one of us if you want this place. That's kind of what you got to. It's a shitty, unfortunate place to be in.
Absolutely,
but
no, they're not. It's not. It's a war zone. It's an actual war zone, and they're fighting till for every person there, and they're being invaded. They have no choice. It's not like they chose this. So they're defending their own country, and they have every right to do so.
All right, last question from David for Frankie C. Again, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that so much.
Yes,
which metal band do you think would play in a war zone, Pantera or Metallica? Wait.
Pantera
1980s Metallica or pussy ass Metallica?
Hey, I think Metallica would play. They've played in prisons. They've played in. I'm not sure about Pantera's current status. Are they still going? They after Dimebag died. I don't know if they still. I haven't kept up with Pantera lately. I don't know if they still tour.
Well, 80s Metallica. I guess it's dream scenario of both bands.
I think they both would.
In a war zone?
Why not? Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't. Depends. I don't know. It's tough because they'd have to be in it already. That's the thing. Would they fly into a war zone and play, or would they already be there?
No, I think he means like the Ukrainian guys, like
the Ukrainian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, either that or they would fight. I think either one. I think that they both would. I like both bands, Metallica and Pantera, and I think they're both badass.
What was more dangerous for Metallica, the time they played in the prison or the time they played in Antarctica?
The prison, because if you see from the videos and stuff, the prison was, if they take you hostage, we're not negotiating. We can't negotiate.
That was a great line. I remember that.
They were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they had to sign shit. Antarctica, they had the crew and everything. They were in a tent.
But in prison, they had prison guards. In Antarctica, there's nothing to stop frostbite.
Yeah, they were in a tent playing. They weren't like out in the open. They were in a tent. They had all the music equipment. They had all their gear and everything. And
by the way, 1980s Metallica would not have had a tent. They'd have been like, fuck it, let's get out there.
1980s Metallica would not have played in Antarctica. Could not afford to play in Antarctica, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Hey, they're the first or only band that ever played all 7 continents.
Oh, is that right? That's why they did it. That's why they did it.
Yeah, they still have that record, I believe.
That ego on Mars. He can't just.
That they set the record. I don't think anybody has done that. So they played. There was an audience. I don't know who was there, but I'm sure they had some people. I don't know. I don't think there's any local people down there, but they had crew, maybe, I guess. But they played a full set, a full concert.
No, they did. I think it was like 3 songs.
It was like They played like 10 songs or 10 or 12 songs. A full set for
No.
them is like 20 songs.
Yeah.
But
I don't
they
think it
played
was
a
more than
lot.
like 3 songs.
I'll look it up.
Because I remember them saying, the thing that I take away from that all the time was they were saying that they couldn't play with the amps because it was too cold. It was gonna they wouldn't work because it was too cold. Didn't they all wear headphones or some shit like that? I think
they they played 12 songs, and the concert was called Freeze 'Em All.
Oh, 12 songs. But did they ever release that?
I've seen a bunch of them on YouTube.
I've seen clips, but that never made an album. That never made it to a release.
Let me see. There is live audio from Metallica. It's an hour and 12 minutes. Freeze 'Em All live Antarctica. I don't know if it's just audio. Let me see. No, it's video.
You're supposed to be the world's
video.
foremost Metallica expert.
It's on Metallica's YouTube page. It's the whole concert, an hour and 20 minutes, and it's the whole concert live. Hour and 12 minutes. 12 songs.
Is there any doubt in your mind that was fucking Lars's stupid ass idea? Like James is not that kind of I don't think James is like, yeah.
I'm sure it came. He had to agree. They all have to agree to it.
Well, I know they agreed, but I'm saying who is the first asshole to come up with that idea? Had to be Lars.
Oh, I'm sure he's the guy he's the business end guy. He takes care of all that stuff.
We should fucking go play Antarctica.
Yeah.
We haven't been up to Antarctica yet. We just go up there with our fucking drums.
Hell yeah.
And just play drums.
I'm gonna play Antarctica. It's gonna be great. We'll play for the Penguins.
Can you get us a fucking igloo to sleep in?
I don't know if there are Antarctic penguins. I don't know. But I forget which one they're on.
This is why they had a therapist, because this crazy asshole is coming up with all these shitty, awful ideas.
How is that an awful idea? They set the record for playing the first band to play on all 7 continents. That's a cool record.
Who do you think is gonna be the first band to play in outer space? I mean, we almost sent Pete Davidson up there. There's got to be somebody that's gonna go up there and play.
It's probably gonna be like a pop person.
Can you even
send like one person up there?
Can you even play? Like that would be a little bit of a challenge, no? Because there's no
gravity, but there's air, so you'll hear. It'll. What are you looking for?
Like you'll hear it, but I'm saying like I feel like everything in space moves like slowly, and you're floating. Like, can you like keep time on like a?
I'm sure.
I think like when you stroke the guitar, like can you? I don't even know.
I think one of the main problems would be either, unless it's rigged that way, the hi-hat or the kick drum, because I think the hi-hat is gravity fed back down, maybe. So they might
the hi-hat wouldn't close. Yeah,
they might have to rig that up a little bit, but you could play. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. You could do that. Nothing stop you, especially guitars and singing. There's nothing gravity up, critical about a guitar.
No, we should get Jeff Bezos on the fucking phone and see.
We'll fly up a drum kit.
Space.
Great. First band in space.
Can you fit my whole drum kit?
I think they could. You ever see that dildo rocket that they sent up last year?
Yeah, it's got to fit that. I'd love to see that Rob Trujillo and like doing his whole fucking thing.
Oh, with his hair flipping around in zero gravity. That'd be great. I'd love that.
All right, that's it for us. You got anything else, Frank?
I'm good over here.
All right. Wow, we had a lot of people join and become members tonight. Amazing.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Amazing super chats. Again, Frank and I and Janina, we're cooking up some stuff for the members. I started saying this before. You know what I'm loving about the member area is we put out a lot of stuff, and not that I give a shit what anybody thinks, because I really don't. But there's everything that we've been like, just little couple things we've been putting out is so well received. Like there's none of that negativity that is out there.
Because we have it's
our pals.
It's the super pals.
It's the good pals. It's the good people, and I'm enjoying that so far. I didn't think that I would. I knew it would be fun. I am surprised early on how fucking fun it is. It's great.
We love it. Keep it coming. Thank you for joining. Everybody who has it, the join button is below a video. If you're interested, there are 3 levels. So pick the one that's right for you. And have fun with it, because we're having fun with it. We just started, and it's only going to get better from here on. So
Yeah, when we do full on shows, private shows for members only, and we got some videos in the works and lots of other. But again, like I thought, like, oh, we have to do these like major productions, but we've literally like I took the chat from the friends today and put it up and had it. It was a great little thing,
Yeah,
and
it's a
we
nice
had a
little
fun
thing.
little exchange. So it was awesome. I was really enjoyed that. Really,
Some of the
really.
stuff goes along with the show. You know, like conversations we had on the show, it relates to it. Some of the stuff is just random
Yeah.
stuff.
Like to see Janine's text messages to her husband.
Hmm.
It was unbelievable. It was great. Like we think he's so innocent, but he was a real piece of shit in that instance.
You never know sometimes.
I can't say what he said because you'd have to see if you remember, but he was great.
Did we get full permission from her husband to put that up?
Well, leaks and news, it's all tricky. It's all very tricky gray
Yeah,
area.
it's a weird. Who could navigate such red tape?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll leave it up to. We'll ask legal
Right.
since we did it 2 days.
Legal. My legal just went out to the bathroom in the yard.
All right, that's it. Like Frank said, 3 membership levels. Of course, you get some awesome emojis to use. You get a member badge on YouTube, which is awesome. It's so great to see all the member badges in the comments here. You go right up to the get head level, where you get to vote on some of the topics that we have on the show, all the way up to a producer level, which is obviously the most expensive, but you get to actually choose and say, hey, this topic is what you guys should be talking about on the next episode, which is amazing.
That is truly amazing. That's the perks, man. Good stuff we got coming.
That's a big perk. And then, as I said, as we go along, because we're going to kind of let a little time breathe on that one, but we'll get some of those producer members. We'll actually bring them on, and they'll get to come and rap with us on the show, which will be fun.
Right. People want to know what's on the coat rack. Should I tell them?
Tell them, but hold on one second. Just wait for it. Just wait. Not yet. Not yet. Right. We ran out of time.
Show me potato salad. Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.